I'm the fake gamer.
It was me.
It was me. I kept Link here. He's represented.
Oh,
Yeah, I
only
mean,
one.
you gotta have Blanc in there somewhere.
You got just enough for Booker's crotch.
Yeah, I got a little bit. Well, no, that's Elizabeth. Oh, I guess yeah.
No, his crotch. You get
I can barely
little
see
donger. You can tickle it.
Wait, hold on.
Welcome to Blue Reed's podcast.
There you go.
I'm Adrian. Got Gore here.
Who
got
gives a
Dave here.
fuck who you are? Like, honestly. Who the fuck do you think you are?
Well, I mean, that's why he needs to keep saying it. What if we get new listeners? They need to know who he is.
Yeah, who's this guy talking? I've seen some podcasts where they just don't introduce themselves for a while, and I'm just like, I actually started that podcast, so I'm like, who are you guys? Someone say your name. We're doing a test run of a live version of this podcast right now on Twitch. So
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna be interacting with chat. Maybe if we get anyone in there. I didn't announce it prior or anything. I decided to try it, see if it even works. It's kind of all right. It looks like our early podcast where I just slapped everyone's video on there and said cool and then left. So we'll see. Maybe later I'll see if I can put a template on there or something. But for now, that's what it is. Very difficult. I have to overlay 2 displays and cut out sections of it. And now, so whenever I do this, I just gotta reposition the window so it fits you guys perfectly. But it works for now. Then, so what do we got going on? Games gone by. Next week, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which was funny because that is on PC, right?
Yeah, thankfully it is on PC.
So when David's Xbox broke, spoilers, we're gonna talk about that probably. I was like, oh shit, that sucks. He's like, what? I was like, you gotta buy Brothers now. He's like, oh god damn it! But luckily, Brothers is on Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass PC.
Yeah.
Windows.
So he lucked out there.
Well, Nier is on there too, also. So if he doesn't get his Xbox,
and also you're lucky because you could also just fuck him over and say Red Dead right now, and he'll have to buy an Xbox immediately to play Red Dead because
it's only on consoles right now.
Yeah. Or you buy a full copy on PlayStation.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, at this point, probably buy the PC version.
Why? Why don't you get the Stadia version? You can talk
so much.
That could be a unique perspective on the game.
Yeah, there you go.
You could play it in 720p, 20 frames a fucking minute or whatever. I'm sure it runs perfectly on Stadia. Flawless.
Sure.
Yeah, so we got Brothers: Tale of Two Sons. That's next week. The week after we have Chrono Trigger.
Yep.
Not the week after. 2 weeks after that. So May 28th is Chrono Trigger. June 25th is Nier Automata. July 30th is Shadow of the Colossus, and August 27th is Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Which hey, shout out to Super Green Flash, right?
Green Super Flash.
Green Super Flash. I'm getting mixed up. My bad. I saw yes, Super Green Flash.
Super Green Flash.
He showed up in our streams and said, "Hey, I'm excited to play Nocturne." So.
What?
Yeah, he's gonna play it along with us.
What the fuck? Well, then how about this? I'll substitute him for me for that podcast. So you all be going fucking jerk each other off in a triangle.
He has to introduce himself as the movie guy.
Me, yeah. I'll let him come over. You can stay here for 3.5 hours.
That would blow my mind if you're like, hey, I'll be right back, and you leave, and he sits down. He's like, all right, guys.
All right, guys.
All right.
He has the same Star Wars shirt on.
Oh, he's got to wear your Ohego hoodie.
Yeah.
There you go.
Why don't you wear that anymore, Gore? That needs to be on more episodes.
It's really hot out.
Also, it doesn't fit him.
Yeah, also it doesn't fit me because you bought
I don't care.
You bought a 3X version like a dumbass.
No, I bought the biggest.
It literally says 3X on it.
I'm sorry, the Chinese knockoff company said it was a 5X.
Yeah.
Imagine that, the Chinese.
If it was a 5X, then I'd be rocking that every day. It'd be like a fucking. I look like one of those fucking chipmunks in Alvin and Chipmunks.
I already do.
Like baggy ass hoodies and shit, looking fresh.
Yeah. So then that's our list. I'm not sure if we'll do any bonus episodes in there because it's kind of a packed.
Well, July we could probably do one because that's like an 8-hour game and there's nothing else in July.
Yeah, so that's probably the one time we will fit something in, but
Deadly Premonition for me, that's about it.
Hell yeah.
That would have been a really good one for that month, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I didn't know it was fucking coming out in July, so whatever. The fuck do you want from me?
Also, would that tank or would that keep you? I forget what is the Metacritic score on Deadly Premonition?
Not good.
I don't know. No, probably 60s.
All right, so that'd be the one that tanks his average His score is trying to keep that average headed high right now.
Yeah. Because I care.
All right.
I really care about my Metacritic average.
Yeah, you do.
It's pretty good. It's in the 90s somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta keep them stonks high.
Yeah, last 3 games all had 90 something. I think Dead Space is probably the lowest one. I don't know what that is, but I know it ain't no 90.
I imagine that had to like admit at least an 80 though, and when it came out.
Probably high 80s, yeah.
All right. Any other Blue Rippy stuff? The podcast is on Apple Podcasts and it's on Spotify. All those places. You can find the audio podcast on Captivate. The audio podcast usually goes up around. I want to schedule those around noon. Video podcast can be a mixed bag depending on how long the export does, and if I fuck up a fucking one thing on it, I go crazy on it. Because like Gore caught that I fucked up the date, so like it was recorded 2012 or something on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's gonna bug me, so I had to go and redo that. It takes like 2 hours to export and 2 hours to upload it and fully process on YouTube.
Right.
Which is annoying. So I forgot. I've not been using compressor. I don't know why. I'm an idiot. I've just not been compressing this. I've been putting up the raw videos on YouTube. So I'm gonna try compressing it this week. So hopefully it knocks at least an hour off that. So hopefully if I do make a mistake, I just re-upload it really quick. But hopefully around noon is still what I'm aiming for. But yeah, the audio, video podcasts, audios are on Captivate. I stream a lot now. I just do a lot of streams randomly. I've done like one almost every day at this point, but we do watch party Saturday. David and I do a fighting game on Sunday. I play Smash Tuesday, and then usually what was it? Gore and I fucked around. We did Streets of Rage right after the watch party. So maybe I'll do some other games after the watch party or something. We'll see.
Oh yeah, we didn't announce what game we're doing next week.
Yeah, well, I figured we probably had a hard time because you lost out on your Xbox.
I mean, most
play,
of my fighting games are on PS4.
Because we were gonna play Power Rangers this week.
True.
I think if we play Marvel's Capcom.
We couldn't because that's on Game Pass and that's where we're gonna play it.
Oh, I did.
David, like an hour before we go up, he's like, "Hey, my Xbox died. You gotta switch games." I'm like, what? So, yeah. So, we'll figure out that game. It'll be something on PlayStation.
What was the thing David dropped one time and it didn't work anymore?
His mic.
That was my Yeti mic.
There you go. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
So that like he did that on the ground.
Yeah. Well, or yeah, he did something and he doesn't want to tell us.
What?
Was your Xbox making like noise or some shit and you just like smacked it?
No.
No? No. Alright, maybe he just has bad... I guess he just has bad luck then.
Yeah.
With technology. His headset's all fucked up.
I mean, this is just because I keep hitting it with a chair, so...
Oh yeah, it's only...
You hit it with a chair, so I imagine you put...
Some WWE shit.
I have a really bad habit of when I'm done, I just throw my headset on the ground and then just not pay attention and wheel over it.
I have this bad habit of taking the stuff I bought for a lot of money and just throwing it on the fucking ground. And then rolling over it with my expensive chair that I almost fucking broke too, most likely.
That makes zero sense to me, but alright.
I appreciate that you did switch the thing on your chair so it wasn't upside down.
Yeah,
that was a long time.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yeah. You just like, we're okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's whatever.
I don't look at it. My head goes there.
I don't look at it. My head goes there.
Alright. It's like the one thing that bothers me in your room is that fucking painting to you, when you look at your camera to the right of your camera. The one's like in the middle there. It's like not positioned properly and it's the only thing on the wall.
There's more stuff that'll eventually be there. It's just I haven't bothered to put other stuff there.
Go back to episode 1 where David's like, you know what? Eventually, all this back here is gonna look so much nicer.
The evolution of David's background. 3 different things so far.
I do want to do more to this background. I think because I bought those really cool smart bulbs, the ones that you can like change the color and activate through your phone and stuff. So I bought those so that way I don't have to have this giant light on me every time. I bought one. I kind of want to put it where the inklings are right there and move those somewhere else. Kind of like when I first started the podcast, I got a little shelf there. Kind of want to do that because I hate having this bright ass light during the middle of summer now, just blaring on me. But yeah. But anyway, I stream. So if we do watch parties, you have Amazon Prime. Come hang out. We watch Hell's Kitchen, then Pawn Stars, and then maybe I'll play something afterwards. Gore and I did like we played through the entirety of Streets of Rage 4 afterwards. and we'll talk about that when we got to what we played. But yeah, it's fun times.
Fun times.
And we also streamed the Xbox event. So did you do that on Twitch or did you do that on YouTube? What'd you do that on?
I did that on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's YouTube streaming?
It's fine.
I always want to stream on YouTube more, but
yeah, it's fine. It works.
Hell yeah. All right. With that said, let's jump into things. So, David, what did you play this week?
Well, seems how my Xbox died. Basically, I've just been playing a lot of Persona Royale. Really enjoying it. Almost done Madarame's Palace right now.
It's gonna say Royale every single time, so I correct them, Royal.
Yeah.
Okay, so you haven't hit too many of the differences in plot, but you saw the changes in the first boss.
Yep.
You see the differences in the battle, where the battle's a lot more smooth. Like
the battle's a lot smoother.
So much better.
Grinding is almost negligible now. It's just such a streamlined concept. Just the little tweak of being able to not have to save your ammunition for your guns alone is beautiful. Having that come back after every fight just makes grinding so...
After the first battle, I had to pause, and I had to tell my friend, I was like, hey, I know this is a dumb question, but that wasn't the last game, right? He's like, no. I'm like, okay, because my mind blew because how much better that is. Gore, if you remember in the first game, every time you shot a bullet, you were just done with that bullet for the entire palace. So yeah, they kind of conserve. So if you saw a flying enemy, you pop one bullet and then you back out and then you go do something else. But now you just refresh after every battle, which is nice because those things do more damage than melee attacks sometimes.
Right.
So, and they're nice to have.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. I'm never gonna go back to vanilla, but it's like even if I just did for some reason, it's hard to even imagine how that would be. Because I'm like, oh, that would bug the shit out of me after that.
Yeah, I don't think I could go back to vanilla after playing the quality of life changes this one has. And so far, the little twists to the story, there definitely hasn't been a whole lot. But I mean, there's the counselor that they introduced there. Kind of interesting what they're doing with that little storyline. The new character has popped up. The new protagonist character has popped up a couple times, but still hasn't really gotten involved in the story at all. Little dialogue changes here and there.
That was a good entrance. I'm saying that first that she pops up right there, and I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be a different kind of game already.
Ooh.
But all in all, absolutely enjoying the game.
And I'm glad because Gore did an unboxing of the collector's edition, and I'm glad he appreciated the art style and everything that was going into it.
I've always appreciated the art style.
I
played Persona 4.
I didn't realize how much you collected Persona stuff despite not playing that much Persona stuff.
Well, I just didn't play Persona 5. I played the dancing game and I played Persona 4.
You played Q?
I didn't finish it. I didn't really like it.
Okay.
But that's the only reason why I didn't finish it.
He's like, yeah, I have the collector's edition of dancing, of Q, of
dancing
5, of Royal. I'm like, damn.
4. I just need to finally play 5. We'll see when that happens.
Why don't you just start it now?
I gotta finish I gotta start Chrono Trigger, then I gotta fucking finish Final Fantasy 7, and I gotta finish Trials of Mana. So
you got plenty of time.
Yeah, plenty of time. I have 5 games. Actually, I have to play Brothers also. Yeah. I got Brothers also to play.
Actually, that's a good point. I hope to be done with
Brothers like 3
Persona before next month for Nier, because I'll want to do a lot in that game.
You're not playing Chrono Trigger?
No.
I know that game back and forward. It's just a matter of I might just kind of watch a couple of videos to refresh my memory, but I played that game a sickening amount. So it's kind of like how you guys were with some of your other picks. I don't really need to play it.
Right on. All right, well.
Piece of shit, I guess I'll play it.
Yeah. So.
All right.
I'll play it.
Anything else?
No, that's all I've been playing.
All right. Gore.
Okay, I played, Okay. I played, don't know what that fucking noise was. I played more Final Fantasy VII Remake. I like it.
You're taking your time in it.
I'm taking my time. I don't want to fucking rush through it, because, I mean, we're gonna have to wait our 4 years for the fucking next 20% of the game, so I think I'll just wait.
Do like
not
one
wait.
chapter.
I'll do one chapter a year.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. But I'm at the end of chapter 10. At least it feels like the end.
Okay.
So
You're
chapter
not too
9 was
far from
great.
the end, honestly.
No. I know there's a lot of just keep going later
there's
on.
one more big chapter.
Like there was
running.
at the beginning of the game where it's just like fucking keep going. You do a couple chapters.
Hallway, done.
Yeah, there's a lot of that shit.
Hallway.
Just sidestep. Like even when you get into the free roam sections, it's like, hey man, you got sidestep still. I'm like, fuck.
I hate when I sidestep and then I hate
watching the animation.
I hate having a sidestep and then having to like, oh fuck, I forgot something.
Yeah. Like, wow, this is like some what's a game that had sidestepping all the time? I guess God of War had it, whereas it wasn't sidestepping, but you always get to a section and you have to like do the animation lifting up a fucking thing for boy and stuff.
I feel like
that
was way more elegant though.
The elevator.
Yeah, but that one was also add the coolness of it all being one shot. So it was just like it made sense because it needed to load the area.
Same thing with Last of Us where something would happen. Usually there's like a voice line or something talking during it too.
Sure, yeah. Here you don't get that. Cloud says fucking nothing for most of the goddamn game, which I guess is very much his character, but still.
Like I say, he's
like,
still waiting.
There's times where I'm just like, yeah, Cloud hasn't spoken in like 30 minutes, and there's been a lot of cutscenes, like all through chapter 9 until some of the really good stuff happens. He doesn't say any words. He goes ugh once. I'm like,
it's such a weird mishmash, and we'll talk about it more on a spoiler cast. We're gonna do one on the 21st. It's such a weird mishmash of like I don't think they were obviously they weren't, but it feels like there's such a weird like lopsided performance in a lot of ways where it's like they have a conversation with one another, but it feels obviously like they recorded at separate times. Where any more like well-designed game would be like the conversation is bouncing back and play Persona, conversation bouncing back and forth, and everything sounds so natural, like it's actually an actual conversation. It's like, oh, Cloud, I just can't believe this.
Wait,
no, it's like Cloud, I can't believe this happened. Time. Aerith. All right.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of that, especially throughout the free roam sections.
It's just
whenever
like
you're talking to side characters.
It's weird,
like
really beats in between that do not need to be there. So like unnatural pauses, different tones and how they're responding to each other.
Yeah.
Cloud sounds cool, but then the way he talks to others, like it just kind of comes off really fucking weird.
Hey, after chapter 9, I love Cloud now, so it doesn't even matter.
Cloud is best girl.
Chapter 9 is great.
God damn. I'm surprised we haven't heard anything like about like any controversy about because the original game had that stuff, but it wasn't even close to as a
no. In the original game,
everybody was wondering if they keep that. Everybody was wondering if they keep that stuff in the remake, and they said yeah, and then we're gonna really fuck with it. Like we're gonna make it about 10 times as sexy.
Yeah, we'll get into that in the spoiler cast, but that whole segment, fucking beauty.
Yeah, that's a masterpiece. That whole chapter should be its own game.
Walmart needs its own game.
Yeah. Walmart was cool in the original game, but it was just like one of those things where you just go back and forth until you get to the cool stuff. And this one it felt pretty consistent throughout. I played, like I said earlier, speaking of performances, I played Trials of Mana.
Yeah, you kind of de-sold me on that.
The game's really fun, and you could switch it to Japanese. I'm just not doing that because I really want to know how bad it gets. But I thought at this point when it came to like the dubs for video games, most of them.
It used to be an issue, but I feel like now we're at a spot where everyone likes the dubs.
Yeah, especially for stuff like Persona and even Final Fantasy VII. People have been liking the dub. But yeah, this one is.
Can I say really quick?
Some of the worst voice acting I've ever heard in my life. But go ahead.
I fucking love Barrett's voice. Barrett's voice is
that's
incredible.
That's exactly how Barrett should sound.
Can you hear the planet crying?
I'm very excited because We'll talk about it soon, but I'm gonna actually I bought FF7 remastered on Xbox. So
Yeah.
because David convinced me to go back and play FF7, see if I can beat it in time, which I probably won't because I got Chrono Trigger and FF7 now. Um, but let's see if I can. But now it's like, oh, dude, I'm excited because now whenever I hear Barrett or see Barrett's text in that game, that's all I'm gonna hear is his voice, which I'm like, nice. I feel like that's how it should be.
I feel like that's the voice everybody had for him anyway.
Yeah, I basically pictured him like Mr. T in my head, honestly.
What he kind of sounds like. Not too far off.
I'm shocked people didn't like Tifa's design at first.
Where's her boobs? And then fucking chapter 9, you're like fucking like walking around. I'm like, how the fuck is she walking around?
Wait.
Dress, by the way.
What?
I got the blue dress, by the way. Whew.
Is that like?
God damn.
Oh, that's I didn't realize that. That's a choice between what you asked prior to that, huh?
Yeah.
And what did you answer?
So I went with the sporty one, which gives you the chinogasm, and it sounds like Gore went with the mature look, which gives him that one.
Yeah, I'm not like, oh, I want sexy, but then I said mature, and she put the fucking sexiest dress on. I'm like, what?
I went with I think exotic.
Yeah.
That's the one I was just like, that's probably gonna be like fucking.
Yeah, I said it, but no, that one was like the most like really covered up. It was like her like a robe almost.
It's weird.
I saw because you know what I saw
people. It's like, hey, if you're not being perverted and you're being like a true Chad, then you're gonna get some sex.
I wanted to see if Cloud would respond back. I want to see if Cloud would respond back because I'm like, here's his like obvious like Japanese protagonist where it's like he's meant to like represent the player, so he doesn't really talk too much. I'm like, I wonder if he's gonna say something or like respond. And I want to hear Cloud's voice say, "Oh, something exotic," but I didn't say it. But I was like, all right, whatever.
Later in the
and
game,
then I saw
when Air shows up, he's like, "Damn!"
I saw pictures of Tifa with that dress. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is that what she's gonna wear with me? It was like a really covered up robe. I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, yeah, I got the blue dress. That was the mature.
I'm surprised she did not fall out of that at all when she was fighting.
That's fine.
We'll go down that Rule 34 eventually sometime.
Eventually, shit. I'm already deep diving it.
All right, sorry to interrupt.
I'm swimming in it.
So you were doing trials and you were doing the dubs and.
Trials of Mana is a really fun game. It's very simple. I mean, it's just the original game. I haven't played the original game, but I heard it's pretty similar to Secret of Mana. So. Besides, of course, I guess the story. But when it comes to gameplay, it's pretty similar. So it's just, it's simple, it's fun, I like it, it's colorful, it's nice looking. But it has some of the worst fucking voice act I've ever heard in my life. There's one character, one of the elementals you come across in the game that has, for no reason, inexplicably, for no reason, he has like a generic, like, gay voice, where he talks. Think of like a gay voice,
like the haughty kind of voice.
Yeah, kind of like that. I don't know about that. I don't know what the fuck you even just said, but like
I slightly went James from Pokemon there.
He's like a spirit, but I was like, what the what is this voice? But that's not even the major one because that's a side character. He talks like 3 times, but everybody's voice acting's so bad. The one cool thing about the game is that you pick 3 different characters out of 6 in the beginning of the game. So you can only play as those 3 characters throughout the game. So it has a lot of replay value because later on you can like, if you beat the game, you can go back and start the game over and actually pick from one of the 6 characters to be your lead character. So you get more of a story. And then the other 2 will be side characters. They'll get, sent to the side.
It was kind of a neat mechanic.
It is cool. But, the story itself isn't great, so I don't know if it really matters, but it's fun. It is fun. It has some really unfortunate dialogue, though. And that's just I'm just talking about the dialogue, which it will be the same for both. I'm assuming the Japanese and English. It has some really bad dialogue. It's just like characters. There's a character named Von Voyage, which I'm like, all right. and he has a brother named Bonjour or something, so it's like Bonjour, and that character says, "Oh, who are you looking for? Who Von Bueno or fuck his name? I can't remember. Right? He said Von Voyage or whatever. Oh, I don't know who that is. And then immediately he says, "Oh wait, that's my brother." I'm like,
what?
Hey, you know your fucking brother's name?
Yeah, I thought you were looking for Von Boyardee.
Yeah. It's I don't know. It has some terrible dialogue, but it's fun gameplay wise. So I guess it really doesn't matter. And there's not really much story so far. So yeah, it's fun. I'm like 8 hours in right now, and I heard it's actually a pretty short game too, considering what it is. It's like 20 hours. So yeah, I'll get through that. It's fun. So yeah, I just put it on and just fucking chill out and listen to our shit. And then when there's a cutscene, I'm like, oh wait, bad voice acting. I pause in the thing and like. Yeah, and then a bad thing happens. I'm like, oh, cool, and then I play more. So
more bad things.
I like bad voice.
Did you ever do your bad thing?
I did. It was behind the scenes. You didn't see it. But yeah, no. Besides that, I started Brothers. I really don't need to play it again, but I started it because I'm that kind of Chad. I play the games that I didn't play before, even though. I mean, I played before. I'm tired. I don't even know what I'm saying. Whatever. I started Brothers again. And what else did I play? I'm sure I played something else, but I don't remember. Obviously not important enough to mention. I guess we played Streets of Rage 4, but I'm sure
we
we'll
did.
Talk about.
We did do Streets of Rage 4. I'll chop into that. Yeah. So we played through that. It was fun. I liked the art style a lot. It was a basic beat 'em up, nothing too crazy. It had the same bullshit that a lot of beat 'em ups have too. So. You go watch the full stream on my Twitch right now, and there's a couple times where we just get fucking destroyed by some bullshit that happens, and it's like, well, can't do much there.
Yeah.
But yeah, not bad. I don't think it's worth 25.
No.
That's what's going for. I'd say if you like beat 'em ups, 20 is even fine. 15. I'd say $10 like a really sweet spot. You're kind of like just like not really too hyped in the beat 'em ups. Game Pass is nice. So that's a great Game Pass game.
I didn't play the battle mode thing though, so.
No, I'd be down to try again if you want to do something like that. But
sure. I'll play with David. Well, he doesn't have an Xbox.
Well, what my I like get a new Xbox.
Nah, you guys want to say that to fuck with you. Yeah, no. So that was fun. Anything else? What else am I doing? Just random pit cross every now and then. FF7. I will say, David, I hit one of the later chapters where I'm not gonna spoil anything, but my God, the background was trash.
Yeah.
The background was one of the most garbage things I've ever
It's
seen.
probably the one I've seen before. Is it like a Rocky background? If not, there's another one that's worse.
So. Yeah, there's
one where there's a Rocky background that looks like fucking garbage.
No, I did see that the error.
Did you play that? Did you play was it chapter 6 or 7 when you're above Midgar and the fucking in the thing where you have to? I don't even remember, but whatever. You can see Midgar below you, and you can see all the shanty towns. Did you look like really like, focused? Yeah. Did you actually?
Let me just say. What I'm talking about is literally.
Oh yeah, no, it's horseshit.
I stopped and took a picture of it because I'm like, it looks trash. I did see Gore, the thing you described with Aerith, where it did a zoom in on the low res flowers. It did it again later on, by the way. So you guys see that moneymaker shot. There are just so many fucking weird moments where I'm like, how did that get past this? How does that look so bad?
And that's after several delays.
And plenty.
I'm sure. I have a feeling this game got rushed. Like it wasn't supposed to be done yet.
Even like a couple months, because like a lot of times the game looks incredible. Like sometimes like this game looks.
The first time you see Aerith's house is like, whoa,
it's beautiful.
And then they show you the flowers really close up. I'm like, oh. So it's just like, why'd you do that?
Yeah, no, like there's just some moments where I'm like, dude, how does that look so trash? Like, how does that legitimately look so garbage right now? There's some times where it looks great. Like, there's some times where I'm just like, god damn, like that looks awesome. Like reflections everywhere, like the glass, and then.
Well, the character models are great. I mean,
the characters themselves.
The main characters.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's just some weird moments.
That steel chair looked great. I just got that scene. That's a meme now. Eric with the steel chair. Nice.
Um,
I love that fucking gif. Anyway, God.
but yeah, I've been playing that. I'm on chapter 17.
Okay,
So
you're almost done.
I'm wrapping it
Isn't
up.
that the last chapter?
18 is.
18.
So
Whatever.
I'll have that done probably tomorrow or the day
Yeah.
after, so I can move on and start knocking it out. I was trying to play. I tried to start Chrono Trigger, but my mind can't comprehend two RPGs at the same time. So
Chrono Trigger's
Yeah.
really easy.
it is, but it's just a matter of like different platforms too. So it's like playing 3DS to go on the PS4. It's just a little bit too bizarre for me to like multitask. I usually like to balance at least like if I'm doing two different platforms, I want like vastly different games on those. Um, David just sucks at the push up game or the pull up game.
Dude,
I did the first one pretty easily.
The squats are not that bad. Squats are all right. They're not too tough. The pull ups are harder, but like not impossible.
I haven't gotten to it yet, so.
So like you know how like the squats it just goes in a diamond.
Yeah.
The push ups like it'll mix it up. So you might go from triangle X, square circle or square X triangle circle.
Do they make the thing disappear still?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so you just have to memorize
Yeah,
it.
to memorize the pattern and it speeds up whenever you have to mash it out. So
Hey, I play Bop It my entire life. All right, I'm good at reactions and remembering shit.
I was telling David that I'd been playing because I was playing Persona 5 Dancing. That now I was like all used to playing beat games on a PS4. I'm like, oh, okay, that was fine. Yeah, but that was all right. I'm having a good time with it. I'm genuinely curious now how I would feel with the FF7 basic now because a friend of me and Gore's and I got a friend of ours. I don't know why I said that. I was as if you were
See how
like
it
brand
is.
new. Yeah, Kyle doesn't like FF7 that much because it is a different game. I didn't really put that together in my head. I was watching shoutouts to Scott the Waz. I was watching his video last week where he talked about remakes, and what is it? Something else.
Reduxes, something like that.
Something like that. Kind of categorizing them. I didn't, and because I'd never played RE2, RE3, FF7, it didn't really click in my head. But yeah, those are all completely new games. Like they're not original.
That's why when people say like Resident Evil 2 shouldn't have been nominated for Game of the Year because it's a remake, I'm like, yeah, it's a completely different game. Like I don't get it.
It didn't process because I'd never played the originals. Like I guess it didn't really occur to me. I'm like, oh, these are awesome, and then you get the story back, you get that, but I'm like, and then it didn't click to me until where he was bringing up that point. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, like this is not FF7, this is not RE2, this is not RE3. It's the story, but the gameplay it's completely different.
Right.
So yeah, so that was kind of an interesting thought to go into. So I'm kind of curious now to go back to FF7. I looked up videos of classic mode just because I was curious and ill. Like at that point, don't even do it because it looks dumb as hell. The video I watched, the guy's like put a caption, "I did not do anything," and Cloud's still moving around and doing all that stuff. I'm like, well, I don't know. Maybe they should have just committed and made like an actual classic version of it.
They could have easily did that. Like I feel like they could have just did it so that
every time you walk up, it just sets you guys up and just does like a different.
They should have just went with the KOTOR route. KOTOR would have been good, where you go. Is that what it? Because I haven't seen classic mode. How's it? He just does anything, and I'm trying to explain it to see if this is what happens. Does he just move around randomly, and then all you can do is pick his abilities, right? Okay, that's not KOTOR. KOTOR, you can move around and stuff, but when it comes to attack, you just like press attack, and your character will keep attacking until you do something else. Okay. Like if you want to guard, then he'll like guard. I think that would have been better actually. If you just press one button and he'll just keep attacking, and then like you could switch to like abilities, and then you do the ability, or you can switch to guard or whatever.
It's weird because I just feel like there's a lot of missed opportunities in this, and even I'm thinking that even not having any ties to FF7 because I'm like. If they just went in and instead of like doing whatever they did for the last like 5 years of their lives, if they just made like that would have been replay value up the ass too. I think if you had a classic mode and a standard mode, and like classic mode was every time you ran into enemies, it did dude. You know how like fans would love that if like you went in there and it had the classic music start and it's just all HD and people were doing side by side pictures of like, oh, this is how this looks in HD and all, and then just I don't know, it doesn't have to be like a super robust version of like. of the turn-based stuff, but it would have been cool to have. I would probably even like dabbled in like a New Game Plus in that too. But
Right.
I don't know, because the game's a lot of fun. I'm gonna say that like the game is I'm having a lot of fun with that. It's such a weird but unique thing to me because I've never played that kind of style of game. And I'm finally getting used to it. The problem is I'm still like even 2 chapters at the end, I'm still not playing it correctly. Like there's times where I know I need to be doing different things, but I shouldn't be, or like I play just too hard, like going for attack when I should be going for staggers. There's just so many weird things about it, but I kind of like that. I kind of like that. It's got a lot to learn, and you can play it again and do it with a whole different mindset into it too. So I respect that, but
Yeah.
it's
Combat is really good.
it's an interesting game. I'm having fun with it. I'm just very curious about it.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks for me is that I hate that they hide a lot of content behind hard mode, because that's why I'm still kind of tempted to go back to it at some point down the road.
Yeah. Let's save that discussion and write that down. We'll talk about what's in there.
Yeah.
The hard mode. But yeah, so then more Overwatch doesn't really matter. Nope, that's it.
Hell yeah.
That's that.
All right.
Oh, that's another game I played, actually. I played Moving Out.
Oh yeah, I wish
Pretty
I
fun.
was online.
Pretty fun. It's a little frustrating, but it's fun. That's it, though.
All right, David, what'd you get?
All right, so I have one package from eBay still fucking waiting to show up. It'll be here eventually. It's coming from Japan. Digitally, I got my code for the Wonderful 101 because of because of the delays that are happening with that game we talked about it the other week. They're giving away Steam keys for anyone that got a physical version. I got a physical version, so they're like, here, have a free Steam key for it. So I'm like, all right, why not? So I've got that redeemed.
I gave that to Kyle because I'm not gonna ever play that on PC.
I'm a hoarder, so I want it digitally as well. May as well. And then for physical stuff that I do have so far, 2 things came in. So Persona Q was one of my games that I was missing out on one of the items for. So I went ahead, just got the replacement game for that. And then the other game that I got, actually really excited to have this complete in box too, is I picked up Trapped on PS2.
Oh, hell yeah. That's that game with traps. Not those type of traps.
No, not those type of traps.
What do you think on that?
But no, I'm a big fan of the Deception series.
Yeah,
and
Deception.
That was,
they made a new one recently.
Recently, it was like 5-6 years ago.
I'd like to just cut out and just say we here in Blue Rupees respect everyone. And
exactly.
I don't respect everyone. So.
Oh, Gordon respects everyone equally.
If you're a dickhead, I do not respect you. Why would I respect you? You're awful. Fuck you.
Gordon's always going off
on a rant. That logic.
Goes off on a tangent about.
Yeah, I respect everyone. No, I don't. What the fuck? Nope.
But yeah, no, I love the Deception series. I've been tempted to pull that out for games gone by at a few points. I may still at some point.
That's okay.
They're fun games.
You can keep that in your pocket.
What do you dislike about the Deception series?
Nothing. I just know you like it, so it's probably gonna be some goofy ass shit. So
it is.
Yeah, exactly. So I've seen gameplay. I never played Trapped, but that's a game that I want in my collection.
Yeah, I managed to snag that for like only $20.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
The Deception games are great. It's just basically usually you're trapped in a mansion. Either you're a descendant of Satan or someone trying to do Satan's will, and it's all just about creating diabolical traps to kill and torture people. It's great.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I got.
All right, Gore, what'd you get?
Where is it? Where is it?
I already showed off the stuff
I looked away. Let me see it. Oh, there it goes. All right. Is it complete?
Yeah, it's complete. Got the manual and everything in there.
Oh, cool. All right. Good. All right.
Gore.
Yes. All right, I got this. You mentioned this earlier. I got this Persona.
Gore was like, oh, I don't want to open it. And he opened it. And it's like, all right, I want to open it.
Yeah.
That's a nice box.
It is a nice box. It looks really good next to my Persona 5 one, too.
Oh yeah, how'd you like Persona 5 Vanilla?
I beat it 5 times.
You
Beat it each
filthy
time.
liar.
Yeah, I hate what they did with Kimuji. I don't know. I'm just making a character name up. I don't know.
You're
I
close.
know
You're kind of
there's a Ryuji character I know,
There
so
you go.
I couldn't think of anybody else. So I was trying to think of a female name, so I just said Kimuji. So is that a character?
I like it. Shout out
So
to
is that?
I like to say shout outs to Gore that he was like, yeah, man, I love Persona. You know, I played a couple hours, so I still kind of did that. You know, like I don't know any of these characters. I saw that girl. I don't remember her name. This
I
guy's
can't
in there.
remember.
He's
I can't remember her fucking thief name too. I
Panther.
know now. Yeah, I know now.
You said Scorpion.
Yeah, I think it was some fucking thing. It's like a creature of some sort. So it's close.
A mammoth.
Mammoth. Could be anything. But yeah, I don't know these characters' names because I only met like 2 of them, and that was like 3 years ago. So, but you know, other things happened, and now I can't play it anyway. So who gives a fuck? I guess those characters will never mean anything to me. All right, so I picked up this Funko Pop of Shantae. That's
I
out.
really wanted that, but
So
I'm
you
trying
still get
to
it.
chill on pops. I have too
Oh,
many.
it's really good.
It looks
I'm
nice.
spinning it.
Shit, motherfucker, you got too many? Yeah, okay. Oh, too many. All right. I got more 4K steelbooks, Disney ones. I got Moana
Mona.
and Moana and Inside Out. So, and I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh
That's all I
yeah.
got.
Let's see, digitally, I mentioned FF7 on Switch digital. I just bought Flat Heroes. Didn't know what that was. It was $2. People on Reddit said it was actually a really good co-op game, so I figured why not. On OfferUp, I ended up grabbing Tomb Raider Definitive Edition. Let's see, Best Buy had a sale last week. I ended up grabbing the Banner Saga. That was like $8. And then
Wait, did that say requires internet download? It's not even on the fucking disc. It's like an 8 gig game.
2 and 3 are not. But I mean, it's $8, whatever. I'm not gonna complain at $8. It's the cheapest. That's like as cheap as one game.
Stop fucking complaining, David.
I will complain as much as I want.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Oh, you
I could have.
break it anyway.
I could have got on PS4, but I'd much rather have those down, like on the Switch.
Why?
And then
I didn't answer me.
what was that?
I said why?
Oh, 'cause
Why do you want it digital? You'll never play them.
you say that about everything.
But you're not going to play those. I know that for a fact.
Maybe I will.
No.
He's getting in the mood for it
Bet me
now.
$5, so I can just take $5.
No, you'll just play it. You'll play like 20 minutes of it, and I wouldn't be able to preview play it any more than that. So, fuck.
I'll leave it idle on my Switch. Just play 20 hours
Yeah,
of Banner
yeah,
Saga.
38 hours of fucking Banner Saga. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm sure he did. Anyway.
And then finally
$5.
completed this collection of this series, which I really want to play soon, but don't have the time. I have some hair sticking up. Where's that hair?
Yeah, it's been sticking up the entire time.
Yeah,
I don't want to say anything. It's perfect now.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
Perfect.
Let's see.
Well, it's like what was that One Direction guy that the I forgot what his name is. I think he was One Direction.
Thor.
He might be from somewhere else. What did you say?
Thor.
I just remember Twitter blowing up about this one fucking like British pop star's hair was like dangling like this, and every talk show that he was in was just like about this fucking one piece of hair dangling. I was just like, Jesus Christ, why do I watch these?
And now our news is filled with people being sick. Don't say the name of the virus though. And then I finally got the collection of this done. I want to play the series soon. I got the last Professor Layton 3DS game.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully gonna do some puzzle games soon whenever I
just don't like
do all that.
I just don't like Professor Layton.
I always want to give it a shot because I specifically want to play that Phoenix Wright.
Yeah, I heard you. It's not really needed.
Nah, but I want other characters though.
Give you the whole backstory for both of those characters.
I'm sure,
anyway.
because I mean that's the way. Like, all right, well, Professor Layton fans that haven't played Phoenix Wright or the other way around, they can introduce those really quick.
Right.
But I kind of want other characters prior just to get a little more out of that.
They need to make a new Phoenix Wright game, a good one. I'm fucking
yeah.
tired of shit not coming to America and garbage coming to America.
I really wanted that one Ace Attorney game
Sherlock one.
that was like set in the past.
Yeah, the Sherlock Holmes one.
Yeah.
Was it that one? I thought that was like
Yeah.
one like a Viking one or something like that.
No, there's a Sherlock Holmes one where.
Oh, I thought that was like an old
I'm pretty sure like you. I mean, you didn't play Sherlock Holmes, but you were like Sherlock Holmes was a character in there somewhere. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I want to do some stuff like that.
But there was a day. You're probably talking about the shit. It was like set in like not feudal times, but something like close to that.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Well, I mean,
I want those. I want them to put the Miles Edgeworth on 3DS. That'd be nice. I mean, it's never gonna happen at this point now because
we'll get a Switch collection. I mean, we got a Switch collection for 1, 2, 3. So
yeah, that'll come to Switch, but the other ones ain't.
If they put 4 or 5,
the other two. Yeah, no, that's okay. 4, I didn't care for.
No,
if you want to play a Phoenix Wright game with no Phoenix Wright, play 4. If you want to play another Phoenix Wright game that would Phoenix Wright for about an hour, then play 5.
I want I want the Miles Edgeworth games too though. I heard those were pretty.
I don't know. I just don't. I don't like all the new characters. They all suck comparison. Like they have like a new detective character that's like maybe 1% as good as Detective Gumshoe. So,
wait, they replaced Gumshoe?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's stupid.
I'll get to.
Wait, what?
I'll get to something.
No. Yeah. I don't know. The 4th one was really disappointing. Spirit of Justice, I think it's called or something.
Apollo Justice was the.
Well, Spirit of Justice.
Dual Destinies was one of them, right?
No, yeah, Dual Destinies is the 4th one. Spirit of Justice is the 5th one.
Oh, I'm thinking of Apollo Justice for one of them. Yeah, okay.
Apollo Justice sucked too. I got all the way to the end of that game. I'm just like, I don't fucking care.
It's crazy how everyone loved 3 and then just.
I just don't like the new characters. Like that's the problem. The writing's not as good either. That's another problem.
Yeah,
but like all the new characters are not even close to as entertaining as like Larry Butts, who was a fucking weirdo. It's who's the Fro girl? Forgot.
Oh,
lot of heart.
Yeah,
lot of heart. All these characters are great, and then I can't remember any of the characters. Like I could sit here and like think for like an hour. I wouldn't remember any of the characters.
Sucks for you on the trivia coming up.
Well, I've never played it. I played Apollo Justice, but I didn't play it enough to even give a shit. Really.
Man, now I want to play the Phoenix Wright games. Someone recommend that for Games Gone By at some point.
Hey, why don't you do it?
Like 30-hour games each.
I played the first case of the first game like earlier last month or this month maybe, because I was like planning April. I keep forgetting what month it is. Yeah, I was doing that not that long ago because I wanted to go through them, but got a lot of games to want. I'm just using this to knock out every big boy game. I'm like, all right, these are the fucking big boys that I'm never gonna have time for ever again, so I can not have to think about it later on.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yep, that's it. All right, trivia time.
Yeah.
All right. David always leaves first, so Gore, get out of here.
No, we have to do a coin flip.
All right. You were gonna do coin flip.
We got new mechanics this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season.
Even though we're still technically in the first season, but whatever.
Season 1. Let's see.
First season.
All right, as winner of last
A
week.
year is a season.
Gore.
Okay.
Heads or tails?
Tails.
Hell yeah.
You got it.
All right, David, you want first or second?
Best 2 out of 3.
Best get the fuck out of here.
I'm not leaving, so. That's not how you talk to me.
I think it is.
Go back to the last couple episodes and see if Gore ever said, all right, David, get the fuck out.
I probably said something worse. Hope he never fucking comes back.
All right, it's not gonna take that long. I'll wave you in.
Whatever.
Just spin your chair around, asshole.
All right. This one is gonna be a quick one. You're gonna get 1 point for if it's a game that's on it. You're gonna get 2 points if it's in the right spot. You're gonna tell me what Gore the Movie God's top 5 games of last year were.
Of last year?
2019.
Oh, alright.
Alright.
Hey, Sigma. Isn't Gore an Opie and Anthony fan? Possibly. I don't know. All right. So Gore's top 5 games of last year.
Yeah. So starting with number 5. What's his number 5 game?
Oh, crap. I don't know. I don't pay attention to him.
Friendships will be lost here. Oh, thanks for the highlighted message. It says, so I can read it even though there's only a couple here.
I'm looking at my 2019 list, hoping for an idea, and I keep forgetting I play a lot of different shit than you guys. I don't know. Number 5, fuck. Mortal Kombat 11. I think that because I think I remember.
Why don't you just say your thing and I'll read them back to you, and then you'll ask if you want to swap any out.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna say number 5 was Mortal Kombat 11.
4.
Number 4, I'm gonna say was. Sekiro.
Okay. 3.
Number 3, I think, was Devil May Cry 5.
Okay. 2.
Number 2. Fuck. I have no idea what 2 would be. I'm pretty sure Resident Evil 2 was his number 1.
I'll write that in for number 1, number 2 now.
Actually, make Sekiro number 2 and put Death Stranding there. I can't remember if he was the one that said he really hated it, but I know it's gonna bite me in the ass. I think he said he really hated it, but I'll say he put Death Stranding in there just because I don't know what else he would have put on this list.
All right. So let me read these off to you, and you can tell me if you want to swap some off or not.
All right.
You put 5 as MK11, 4 is Death Stranding, 3 is Devil May Cry 5, 2 is Sekiro, and 1 is RE2. Anything you want to change? Anything you want to...
Is it cheating if I look at a list of games from 2019?
Yeah, don't do that. You can't do that.
Okay, that's fair. That's why I asked before I started doing it. Yeah, shit, looking at my list of games that I picked does not help at all. God damn it. Why do I play... I gotta stop playing so much weeb shit.
Let me read them one more time and swap them off.
Alright. Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to be able to think of anything else.
Okay. So I don't even know if Gore's here. I'll wave him in if he is. I'll just message him anyway. Hell yeah.
Come sail away, come sail away.
Alright. What's up to the chat? Got some people here now.
Hell yeah, we got an active
What's up
chat.
to Ty? What's up to Sigma? What's up to Casey? Shoutouts to Howard Hype.
Shoutouts to those beautiful emotes we got going on in here. No, I'm just French. I just can't talk without moving my hands constantly.
What's up, morons? What?
Gore, this is going to be a fun one.
Alright.
It's a test of our friendship.
It is, actually.
We're going to fucking lose.
So what you're going to do is you're going to go in and you're not going. You're going to guess, or hopefully no, you won't. You're going to guess what was David's top 5 of last year, as we said on a podcast about a month and a half ago.
Yeah. Yeah, that was basically my reaction too.
So what I did for David, if you want this too, is just list off what you think are the top 5, don't overthink it, and then I can go back and read it to you. You can swap out games if you don't think those anymore or whatever. But if you want to start wherever you want to, let me know where. But otherwise, we can start 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever you want to do.
Okay, well, I know number 1 was House and Fate of Morgana, so I already know that. They pick like some weird shit as number 2.
No hints, David.
It was like Earth Defense Force or some shit. I don't know.
All right.
Was that number 2?
I do be liking Earth Defense Force, but...
Okay. That means no.
No, start getting them hints, David.
I didn't think it was.
I'm only throwing that out there because I'm
pretty sure that was
I'm pretty sure that
was a 2018 game anyway.
Yeah, it was like December.
Casey said David's top 5: 4 visual novels and a hentai.
I don't even like visual novels.
So 5 visual novels, pretty much. All right, so
you got 1 down, so then you want 5, 4, 3, and 2.
Did he put Resident Evil 2 there somewhere? I don't remember if he did.
If he did, what number do you think it'd be?
I don't remember if he did, so.
I can say it's in my top 10.
So I will say is, if you want... Yeah, no more hints. Stop talking on them. So what David did, if it helps you or not, all of this, you could look at your... You could think about your top 10 and maybe compare that or something. David asked if we could look up games from last year. I said no, so...
I gotta look at my list though, right?
You want to look at your own list and see if you think.
Pretty sure I still have it.
Yeah, you can do that, but no looking up like other games released from last year.
Yeah, because I definitely kept mine because we talked about possibly going back and revisiting after we possibly had a chance to play more 2019 games, which I've done a great job of playing 2020 games so far. You know, I've got a lot of 2020 games beat, just not a whole lot of 2019 still.
Almost like you have a lot of time this year.
I think
it's almost like I'm just putting more effort into playing 2020 games.
Yeah, I think pretty much everything on my list is not on his list besides maybe Resident Evil 2, but I don't remember. I'll say Resident Evil 2 5, I guess.
Okay.
Oh my god, what the fuck did you even play? Stupid Japanese shit did you play? I don't know, was there a fucking...
Also, the points go like this. You get 1 point if it's on the top 5. You get 2 points if it's in the top 5 and in the right spot.
Okay, make it more complicated. What the fuck did you even play? Then you put like Super Mash in there somewhere, like a fucking idiot.
Did he?
I don't know. I think it was in his top 10. I don't know if it was in his top 5. I'll say I'll switch. I'll say that's number 5.
Okay.
And I'll say Resident Evil 2 is like number 4, I guess.
Okay. 3.
What the fuck was number 2? I feel like it was like... No, actually, I think Resident Evil 2 was number 2.
Okay. So now you have 4 or 3.
Yeah. Did you play Pokemon? I don't think you did.
Yeah, I played Pokemon. Because we've talked about that a lot, about how I played it at launch and played again after.
Okay, so
that
tells me enough. I guess.
Does it though?
I don't remember you talking
Stop
about
talking
it.
about him, David.
I don't remember him talking about it anyway. So, but maybe he did. Some other shit. I don't fucking know.
I love how you're like still talking to him. Like anything I say is gonna alter his ability to remember the shit I play.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you're a bad actor, so sometimes
I can't pronounce half the shit he fucking plays. So. Fucking
Fair.
His fucking name I can't even pronounce. Durandal, whatever the fuck.
That's
Yeah. I don't know. Was there something else that come out last year? I don't fucking know. What came out last year? Was there anything? It was probably some dumb shit. It was like a remake of some fucking Japanese anime visual novel from the 1920s or some shit. I don't fucking know. I don't fucking.
Japanese visual novel from the 1920s.
I'll put Pokemon in there. I guess I don't fucking know. And I'll put it number 4, sure. And because mine is like the popular games. Like if you didn't guess at least 2 or 3 of mine, then there's something wrong.
Number 1, I was sure I got right. Your number 1, I'm pretty sure I got right.
Yeah, you probably did. I'm looking at my list. It's like all the popular games that came out last year. I'm like, nope. Definitely didn't put that. You know what? No, that was. I think that was in your top 10.
Do you want me to give
was,
him a vague hint, David, just for fun?
Sure.
David, one of David's guesses for your top 5 are in his top 5.
How the fuck would I know what he guessed?
I'm just telling you that means there's some mutual like game that might be floating.
There's something we click on.
But you
just
said
saying,
a guess.
that's
So
all,
I'm assuming it's not right.
It's a vague thing that I'm just throwing out there just to make it more entertaining. I'm not even trying to like skew it or anything. I'm just trying to bring in some entertainment.
I guess for me. The fuck came out? I don't know. But you know, was maybe DMC5, but I could have sworn he said he wasn't gonna put it on there because he didn't finish it. But fuck it, I'll say DMC5.
Okay.
I don't know what it was.
Let me read your list off, and then if you want to change anything, let me know. You have 5
Sure.
Super Mash, 4 Pokemon, 3 DMC5, 2 RE2, and 1 House of Fata Morgana.
That's fine. I don't give a
Lock it
shit.
in.
Yeah,
Alright.
sure.
We're locked. Who wants to
All right,
who wants
who's
to know
the
the
better
answers
friend?
first? Who wants to know the answers first?
I don't care.
All right. Well, we'll start.
I know my 5.
We'll start with
So.
Gore's guesses then.
Yeah.
Gore's guesses from
All right.
David.
Sure.
Gore, you guessed David's number 5 was Super Mash.
Yeah.
David, your number 5 was Super Mash.
Hey! There you go.
Gore,
Yeah.
your guess for David's number 4 was Pokemon. David's number 4 was actually Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's on my list, so I didn't even think about it.
Gore, your guess
Yeah.
for David's number 3 was DMC5. David's actual answer was DMC5.
Oh, was it really?
That was it.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
what'd you
that's my
say?
number 2.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No, it
it
wasn't.
doesn't matter. I get a point.
Not what I just watched prior to this.
Uh-oh.
I
Uh-oh.
wrote-
Someone...
Oh,
I'm
Sounds
pretty
differently then.
Yep.
Oh. He's trying to take a point.
Oh
from me.
no, that's right. Because I have my 2019 now. That's the one I'm looking at.
I'm
I pulled
assuming
it from the podcast.
I'm assuming his number 2 is Resident Evil 2, right?
Gore, your guess for David's second was Resident Evil 2. His actual one was Nelk and the Legendary Alchemist.
Oh. There you go.
So when Gore said, "Yeah, I mean some fucking weird no one's number 2, something I can't even fucking say," it's probably that one.
Okay.
And then you got his
Nelk.
number 1, House of Fata Morgana.
All right, so I got
You got
6
you got
points.
6 points.
All right,
The
that's
one you got
pretty
right, you got it there. All right, cool.
good. All right. Well,
Yeah,
he probably
my number 10 because
might-
I only played like an hour and a half of it.
Huh? What game?
Resident Evil 2 was my number 10 just because I had only played like an hour and a half of it.
All right.
All right. David's guesses for Gore's top 5. David said number 5, MK11. Gore,
Yeah.
number 5
so
was
the-
MK11.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yep.
David, your guess for Gore's number 4 was Death Stranding. Gore, did you finish that game?
That's not even in my top 10.
I even said, I was like, I don't know if this.
Did I say what my number 4 is? I have to look.
Neither of us hated that game.
No. I liked it. I just wanted to.
David said, I know one of you guys hated that.
I didn't feel right putting it on my list if I only played like even Tactic. I played like 10 hours that game, but still it wasn't enough. Anyway, I know. Can I say what number 4 was?
Yeah, go for it.
It was Star Wars Jedi, right?
Yep.
Forgot about that.
All right.
About that earlier too.
David, your guess for his number 3 was DMC5.
Yeah.
Gore,
That's another one I couldn't put on my list.
your third was actually
To the
what
past.
you said was A Link to the Past. It was actually Link's Awakening.
I remember that.
Yeah, he goes, my number 3, Legends of Zelda: Link to the Past. Nope, that wasn't it. All right. David,
You gotta nail these last 2, baby.
what do you think David gets for your number 2?
He's gonna say it's gonna be something stupid.
It's a very popular game from last year.
Resident Evil 2. Was it Resident Evil 2?
David's guess for Gore's number 2 was Sekiro. Gore, what was your number 2?
My number 2 was The Outer Worlds.
Oh, fuck, I forgot about that game.
Sekiro I did not put in my top 10 because I didn't play enough of it. Which has been every guest so far besides Mortal Kombat 11. Has been all games I played, I just didn't play enough to put in my top 10.
And then David did indeed get your number 1, which was Resident Evil 2. So, with that said, congratulations on being the better friend. I genuinely thought that was skewed towards David's favor because I'm like, well, David can rattle off a bunch of like popular games, and Gore's gonna have to guess Nelk and the Legendary Alchemist and Super Mash. But
I do remember him.
I'm surprised you pulled Super Mash out of your ass.
I know.
Honestly.
I genuinely thought you'd forgot about that.
I just remember it because when he said that, I didn't look up on Metacritic what it got.
Yeah.
I looked it up. It had a 38 on Metacritic, and I'm just like, which by the way, that comes out. I think that comes out tomorrow on Switch. So.
Oh, is it updated to have more than 2 games on it?
I don't know. It's just, I won't be able to tell you because I ain't getting it.
I'll probably get it, David.
Maybe I will if
I'll see what the reviews are, see if it's any better on Switch. If it's better, then I'll grab it. If not, I'll wait till it gets updated.
It's a fun game.
I don't see how it could be better on Switch. But
all right,
we'll see.
Congratulations, Gore. You're a better friend.
Wait, what's the score so far?
I'm not gonna pull it up now. I believe you're up. You're ahead by 2. 2
really?
or 3. I had to pull it up. I'm taking Google, or Chrome off because it's slowing the Skype video down. All right. Let's do news.
News.
Let's start with the top story. The Xbox had an event today. Part of their Xbox 2020 lineup, which is their way of saying we're going to have news for this thing every month. They started today with third-party showing. David, did you watch any of this?
Yeah, I skimmed it during my lunch.
Okay. So, general impressions so far on the internet, a lot of people were disappointed with it. I think the number one leading thing is this is called the gameplay stream. Not very much gameplay, actually.
Rewatching it again, there is actually more gameplay than I thought.
There is, but it's funny because actually some former Microsoft executives, like remember Quick, Xbox, that guy, he even tweeted about it. Someone else did, saying like, "Yeah, it's kind of odd they kept advertising his gameplay, and there really wasn't much gameplay versus what you'd imagine being gameplay."
Especially with Assassin's Creed.
So hopefully that's acknowledged going forward, but
Hopefully, but they did the same thing last year, E3, where it's just like, all right, here's a bunch of games, and it's just a bunch of trailers for games and no gaopplay really.
Which is, I mean, I like a lot of trailers.
I like trailers.
So I will say, what I think going into it, and my opinion is kind of different from a lot of people, is that I thought going into it there wasn't gonna be a lot of hype. Generally, as soon as I heard like, oh, all third-party showings, I'm like, all right, so there's not gonna be like crazy amounts of freaking out over it. I think this is the way to start. This is the way to show like, all right, we got our partners on. The big boy stuff are gonna come later on. You know, like they announced before. They said again during this that July is gonna be when they show their first party stuff. Like all their first parties are working on Xbox Series X stuff, and they were gonna showcase multiple ones of that. But the biggest problem I have with generation, and a lot of people do too, is there's a lack of new IPs this generation. There's a lot of iterating off last generation. Specifically, like the Naughty Dog, we didn't have any new IPs. We got more Uncharted and more Last of Us. Xbox didn't really go too crazy with IPs either. So I think
because every time someone tried to make a new IP, they just fucking killed it.
Right. So everyone's talking about the same stuff, but like right out the gate, third party. Remember, this third party. Right out the gate, we're getting a bunch of new IPs, and people aren't popping off for those because they're new IPs. They don't know what they are. I thought they were pretty cool. I thought that we had some cool showings. I liked the majority of the stuff that we had. Like the only ones I didn't really care about. I mean, they were obvious. Like I'm not that big of a fan of Dirt. I'm not a big fan of Madden. But
no,
I mean, everything else.
Not.
Everything else that showed.
Everything else is cool. Are we gonna go through what they showed in order?
Yeah.
There wasn't that much we could do that.
David, do you have that loaded up? Because I don't want to.
Yeah, I put that in the chat, and I have the thing.
I'll get it.
Okay.
All right. So first we have Bright Memory Infinite.
So that looked cool. I thought that was Titanfall for a second because it played all like it. I was like, but then he pulled out a sword. I'm like, hold on.
It's Titanfall mixed with that Elden Ring.
What the fuck?
I'm stretching.
I
Also, apparently made by one guy.
I can't control the noises I make. Yeah. That was a piece of information that we didn't hear.
Which is wild. That like
that is crazy.
I don't know if it's gonna play well because it kind of scares me because I'm like that's an ambitious as hell project.
Supposedly it's out on early access, like a part of it, and supposedly it's good. So on Steam.
Yeah. I hope it's really good because it looks really good. But goddamn, that looks gorgeous and it looks like.
It looked pretty good.
It looks crazy, yeah.
It looked pretty good.
It was definitely a strong way to start.
Yeah.
Then after that was Call of the Sea.
I don't think that was after that. We're not gonna go in order.
Yeah, we'll just read them off. Call of the Sea, that looked cool.
That looked cool. It looked great.
Everything in this looked gorgeous. I will say.
Yeah. Some good trailers.
Yeah, Call of the Sea wasn't one of the ones that grabbed me the most, but it definitely looked cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be a walking sim, but it'd probably have some puzzle elements, but it looked gorgeous. I like the art style.
Yep. What's next?
That'll be something in a year and a half. You guys will throw on Games Gone By, and I'll begrudgingly play it and may or may not like it.
Well, it doesn't come out until later this year, so it has to be at the earliest late next year.
Yeah, well, that's why I said like a year and a half.
He didn't say year. He said next year.
I literally said like a year and a half.
Anyway, next game.
You probably did, but I wasn't listening to you.
All right. Some friend you are, Gore. Goddamn, at least I
Gore's a better friend.
Yeah, I won the point, so.
The next up was Chorus. Even though it's spelled Corvus in the fucking trailer. Yeah.
No, it's Corvs, which sounds like a stupid-ass music game or something. But it's not. It's a Star Fox game where you're a lady instead. Which looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool.
I hated the look of it. It looks like it was trying to go for like a kind of cyberpunk aesthetic, but it's just black and neon red. It just looks kind of hideous to me.
Yeah, man, neon red is the way to go. Hey, man, I'm going to name my son Neon
Black
Red.
And Neon Red.
No, that's black is my first son, and then Neon Red will be the other one. And I'll only call them at the same time so I can say Black and Neon Red. Anyway, that's a little bit about my life. That game looks cool. Don't fucking.
I thought it looked cool. I'm into it. It kind of had like a little bit of Hellblade into it with the character designs. I felt like.
Yeah, just
it had a little fucking
the one
Gary's
character had
mod
the
with
black
the
on her
goddamn
eye.
character looks to it.
Yeah.
I think the reason why I came to Hellblade was they literally showed Hellblade at the beginning of that whole thing. Like,
the ship has like an AI or stuff. Yeah. There's something about like she getting taken over by an AI or something. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, Dirt 5's next.
Dirt 5's next. Yep.
Yeah.
I got nothing to comment on.
It looks nice. It looks like a nice little game. Good job. Good job making that game. Hope it sells well. It has cars. There's dirt as advertised. All right, next game.
Next game is Madden.
All right, that game has like the guy in it.
Yeah, I'm rewatching that. I'm surprised we didn't make a like as if that's like their end game to the end trailer. You know, where it had like, all right, every Madden built up to this one, where it has like, here's Iron Man like for a second, Hulk for a second, Iron Man. It's just,
I feel like
John Madden's NFL, Madden whatever this year.
Yeah, I feel like they do that a lot though, EA, with their sports games. Maybe not just for Madden, but I feel like they've done that with FIFA games too, where it's just like, look at all this old shit. I'm like, it's been building up to this. I'm like, you just kick a fucking ball into a net. I don't know what the
building up to this.
What the fuck?
That's how football works. You kick the ball into the net.
Yeah, no, I was talking about FIFA, dumbass. I was talking about FIFA, but okay. But anyway, this game's release, I guess. It's gonna release one day. I don't fucking care. Anyway, doesn't it come out in like 3 months and they haven't shown any gameplay really? They showed a little bit here, but
do they need to? You know what it fucking plays like.
No, but I mean, come on.
We'll see more. We'll see more at the EA Play.
I mean, I don't want to. There's no EA Play. Is there EA Play?
Yeah, there is. They confirmed it.
I'm not watching that. Actually, no. After some of the leaks, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I think it'll be different because they don't have everyone to hang out outside and be like, hey, look at everyone hanging out, because we're all stuck inside. So.
No, that was actually better last year.
Yeah, they gave everyone fucking dying.
Last year was better. Yeah, exactly. Last year was better because it would give you a schedule like this 30 minutes is dedicated to this. I'm like, oh, good. I'm not watching.
No, that was good. But I'm saying is that still we don't have to
yeah, you don't have to go
stick with all the advertisements and be like, oh, everyone show up. We remember trying to get Kyle to show up. Hey, go hang out with them.
Well, he lived like 20 minutes away, so he should have.
Yeah. Go wait for the camera for us so we see Kyle with him.
He does like a dab or whatever, and then that'll be the last time I fucking Kyle.
Anyway, what's the next one?
Next is Scarlet Nexus.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. It kept looking like Code Vein to me, so I don't know.
See, I was getting Astral Chain vibes from it initially.
Yeah, a little bit, but
That's
when
what
it said Bandai Namco Games, I was like, because I know that was the people that published Code Vein. I was like, is this like Code Vein already? Like, didn't Code Vein just come out? But it's a new game. It looks cool. It looks like Astral Chain though, like you said, and Code Vein. It looks like one of those games. The enemy designs are pretty cool, but once it got to the anime character, like, my name is this, and I'm a blah. I'm like, oh, God.
Also going to what you were saying, weirdly terrible voice acting with that.
Yeah. Weird. Well, that's the thing. It's a trailer, so, and I'm sure in the game he won't say, my name is Blur Blur, unless it's maybe
boot up that game in the first.
My name is Blobby, and I'm a horrible blorb. Like, I don't know. I'm a horrible blorb. I don't care. I don't even remember the dialogue from the trailer. But it looks fun. I don't know if I'll play it, though. But it's cool. It's cool. Hey, a lot of good trailers in this. The next one is a great one.
Yeah, the next one, oh, man, this fucking had me all over it. Scorn.
Yeah, Scorn. He was a wreck for this.
His penis look like the one in the...
Tripping phallus and everything. I'm surprised they got away with showing this, because that was just straight up a dripping phallus.
Yeah,
like not even like suggested.
I wish they showed super
immediately
after before that.
After the white stuff coming out of the phallus, you see like two like weird fucking like zombie characters like dead, like doing stuff. Like
mid-coitus.
That's what Chad said. Coitus. couple of I like saying Chad's. But this is a game that has been in development for like 5 or 6 years, so hopefully it's coming this year. It says this year, but
yeah, I have no idea what the fuck this game is about based on the trailer. All I know is it screams Geiger, and I'm excited.
Yeah, you look at there's some gameplay. It looks pretty good. It has it's a first person shooter, but it feels more like a BioShock kind of game, where it's like more about exploration besides just shoot everything. And all the enemies are like these weird like fucking like Giger design kind of thing, like just really disgusting looking and like grotesque, and they all sound like they're in pain and stuff. It's just like, ugh. I mean, if you watch some gameplay, I said this during the thing, but shout out to Easy Allies. They had like a giant like 3-year sponsorship from this game through their podcast. And every podcast I would hear about Scorn, just like, Scorn, it's a new game from Ebb Software. That's why when we did the reaction, I saw Ebb Software, so I was like, that sounds familiar. But the trailer looks great. The trailer was really good. It's a gorgeous trailer. Weird.
I was into it. I like the
dripping
weird shit.
phallus.
I like the weird shit.
The gameplay looks like the gameplay is pretty old at this point, so it might be different now, but
that was one of the ones that stuck with me for sure, and those are the ones I'll be checking out. It was the other one that stuck out with me in Gore that we're probably coming up to here in a second.
Okay, yeah.
So next is probably that game. It's Second Extinction.
Yeah.
No.
That's the dinosaur game.
The one I'm thinking of, but that was one of the hype ones too.
I know. I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about. But Second Extinction is definitely
that was
my
some
second.
gory shit though, like.
Yeah, I mean there were dinosaurs who.
I don't think I've seen dinosaurs blow up like the way that humans blow up, but some of the games you shoot them in.
Exactly. This whole Inside Xbox was just me thinking it's going to be a different, like a giant franchise coming back, and then it just ends up not. Cause,
if you go back and watch our live stream, you see that, like, oh, is it this? Yeah. No, it's this. Silent Hill? No, it's this. Code Vein? No, it's this.
Code Vein. Yeah. I'm sure he said that
Forza
for
Horizon? No, it's dirt.
Titanfall? Yeah,
no, it's this.
That's just fucking wrong, but you know what? I was right about one thing though, and I gotta give myself kudos. If I get pat my back, yeah, Assassin's Creed. That was gameplay for Assassin's Creed. No, I wasn't even right about that. I was assured that. I was lying. Anyway, Second Extinction looks really cool. It's like a Left 4 Dead game except with dinosaurs, pretty much. And it looks pretty sweet. I'm down for that. Hey, I'm down for a new Left 4 Dead game, considering Valve is just like, fuck it.
The closest thing we got was World War Z, and that was all right.
That game was fun.
I do want to play it. I still want to play it again.
If this game is like World War Z, where like 200 dinosaurs pop up and you just have to fucking mow them all down, then I'm down. They did show one shot with like 20 dinosaurs charge.
I didn't want to play World War Z again.
Sure. It's on Game Pass.
Yes, I'll do it. I was gonna invite David to play, but he can't anymore.
Go to Walmart tomorrow and just get a fucking Xbox.
Don't worry, we won't play
If they
it.
announced, I was like really betting, and I guess they announced like right beforehand they're not gonna show up. I was like really hoping CD Projekt Red was gonna open up pre-orders on the Xbox One X for Cyberpunk One. I was gonna hopefully say, oh, if it's $300, I'll pre-order and just sell David my old one or my Scorpio edition. Scorpio editions go for a lot.
Yeah.
And that would have been nice. I don't think I kept the box, which fuck me, I guess. I don't know why I threw away the box.
Yeah.
I should not have done that.
I don't throw away any boxes anymore, which is just a real problem. But
yeah, well, I had a problem with stacking them all, but then I could have sworn I kept that box, but apparently I didn't. I might still have it somewhere. Which if I does, I'm definitely gonna sell that thing. 'Cause that thing sells for like $500 still.
Yeah. But anyway, that was a good game. Well, hopefully it's a good game. Okay, yeah, a lot of different type of games too.
Like I said, a lot of good variety and new IPs. I just like the idea that we're getting new IPs.
New IPs is cool, but like I just like because if it's a new IP and every IP is like an action game, then it would be different. But there's a lot of like Scorn is a survival horror game. That wasn't a new IP that already got announced, but
it does make sense that we're getting new IPs from unknown people because it makes sense that next month is going to be all the new IPs or sequels from everyone else for E3.
Yeah.
In hindsight, that makes sense. So we're going to see all that, and then following that, then the month after is going to be all Microsoft. So it's making sense what the roadmap's looking like so far.
Yeah. So all right, the next game is I'm pretty sure this was the only exclusive they showed, right?
I think so, if I read correctly. Yes.
Yeah.
The Ascent.
Yes.
Yeah,
and this game when this was when this game was first showing off, I kind of got myself too excited, and I shouldn't have, because initially I was like, oh, this looks a lot like Shadowrun, and I started getting in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, cool, Shadowrun. Nope, not a fucking Shadowrun game,
so you did
it's a top-down shooter.
Yeah.
Killed the excitement.
Isn't Shadowrun a top-down game though? But it's a strategy game, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why. I don't even know why I asked the question. But, I don't know. Like, like, the environments were looking cool, but I was just like, Cyberpunk. I mean, we're getting a game literally called Cyberpunk that looks awesome. I don't know if we need, like, a ton of Cyberpunk games. And then I saw the gameplay. I saw a gameplay. There's already a lot of them, like, coming out. Like, did we get, like, 2 of them this year? I mean, this correct?
And I like it. I mean, even, you could say Final Fantasy as well, too.
Yeah, but that's a little different. It's not neon.
Yeah, no, that goes more into like industrial punk.
Right, but I mean, like, I hope it's not like a trend that stays for too many years, because it was super awesome and novel when it did happen, but now it's like, all right, we don't all need to do Cyberpunk stuff right now.
Yeah.
Which is why I dig Scorn, because Scorn looked fucking incredible for like it was fucking weirdly different.
Yeah. A lot of really, really good trailers too. Like, I mean, actually good trailers. Not just like, oh, it's a new IP, so it's good immediately. But like the next one we're going to talk about,
hell yeah,
we're done with the Ascent, is the Medium.
That's the one that was number one.
Hey, I got like 9 things wrong, but I called out that it sounded like Silent Hill music. So
yeah. That was the first thing I thought too, as soon as the music kicked in.
Yeah,
and apparently someone has not played Silent Hill games. Apparently that do any of the Silent Hill games like hold up still?
Yes.
Okay, which one should I play now that I got the PS2? That
all of them.
2 and 3.
Well, they're all short games, and they're like 7-8 hours long each, I think, right?
Okay, but like which ones? Didn't they drop off like eventually, or like?
Yeah, 4 was still pretty good, but it's not.
HD
it's not.
Collection sucks, right?
All the ones on PS2 I think are worth playing. Even Shadow Origins, Memories? Shadow Memories. I love Shadow Memories actually. I think that definitely has, when it comes to just straight up story, has my favorite story.
Okay.
Because I think it's very well done.
Stay away from the HD collection.
Talk to me after the podcast about that, because I've been wanting to get into Silent Hill. I want to do horror stuff, honestly. I want to kind of prep towards that.
The one weird thing about the HD collection, I still don't know why they really did this. The original voice actor for what's his name in Silent Hill 2? Henry, thank you. For some reason they got rid of his voice actor, and they
got rid of all the voice actors.
Oh, was everybody? Well, the only one I know of for a fact was they replaced him with Troy Baker, and now playing it, it's very weird hearing Troy Baker play Henry. So
is that because you played it before, or would I be weirded out by
that? No,
that?
it's just because Troy Baker's in everything, and I guess so. I guess with Silent Hill.
Yeah, because the original game, a lot of the voice actors were just absolute nobodies. That was the kind of one thing they did. But it really helped with the tone of what that game was at the same time.
Because the voice acting is very off-putting.
Well, once we're
like
done with
the way
this...
people talk and stuff. Even though it is really annoying whenever he says Mary. It's like he says that like 5 million times throughout the game.
Okay. When we're done with this, let's talk. Let me see if I can find a good way to get all those games. I really want to play those.
Oh, those are really expensive, to be fair. Like Silent Hill 2 is like a $50 game.
Are there not ways to play cheap on like PSN or something?
I guess HD collection. I don't think so. No.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, Silent Hill 1 probably. Silent Hill 1.
Yeah, 1 is on the classics, but that's
it's always weird when they replace voice actors. I don't know if you noticed, David. Have you met Takemi yet?
Yeah.
She has a different voice actor.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah, it threw me off. Bit.
That's actually. Didn't they do that with Persona 4? With Troy Baker?
I don't know, but something like that sounds familiar.
They did. Because Troy Baker played. Troy Baker. No. I mean, like they replaced Troy Baker with somebody else.
I don't believe it.
I think maybe it was in the animation because I remember listening to what's his name? Who's the guy with the yellow hair in Persona 4? The kind of biker looking dude. He has a jacket on. He's not biker, but whatever. I can't remember his name.
Isn't that Ryuji? No.
Ryuji's in 5. I know that. I haven't played 5. No, anyway. What's his name? He has a name kind of like that though.
Kanji.
Kanji. There you go. I'm pretty sure in the animation they switched him out with Matt Mercer. I could be wrong, but they sound very similar. So. I have
funny
to
because Matt Mercer's in Persona 5, so that kind of makes sense, I guess.
I need to actually know. Talking.
Yeah, so she's different. I was gonna say something, but I forgot now. I lost my train of thought.
Whatever.
All right. So next trailer was for Vampire Bloodlines 2.
Yeah, that was a fucking weird ass trailer, but I liked it. I've been very intrigued. So I put that on my Steam wish list because I kind of want to see if I can play through the first now, because now I'm interested in that, and I've heard good things about the first one.
I played a little bit of the first game, like back when it was like kind of newish, and it looked like shit on the computer I had, but not new. It was like a few years old at that time, but I didn't get very far into it because I think I got stuck. I think it was pretty challenging, so I was just like. I liked it though. I like vampires. So anytime they make a game about vampires and they take it fucking seriously, I'll at least try the game. Like
you played the game Vampire?
Yeah, it's called Vampire. I always call it Vampire. But yeah, I did. It was good. It's just like it had like the Dark Souls kind of style combat, and I didn't care for the combat, but I like the story.
Vampire the Masquerade is a tabletop game that I've always loved, and I liked the original Masquerade game a while back that it came out. So I'm interested to see what they do with the story this time around.
That was a weird trailer. I like that.
That was great. It started off with fucking Jesse Eisenberg from Batman v Superman. Like,
dude,
I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
Yeah. How? What'd you say?
I was glad I'm not the only one that thought he looked like Jesse Eisenberg there.
Yeah, he did. He looked like Jesse Eisenberg from Batman v Superman with him and that fucking Lex Luthor he played for some reason. Yeah. I'm glad that's not happening anymore. But it's like. Anyway, that was a great trailer. Everybody dancing and stuff, and it was actually really paced. It was paced very well. It was a good trailer, and like it took me a minute to realize, what it was. And once a vampire started fucking shit up, I was like, pretty sure it's Bloodlines.
Yeah, this has been.
I've seen gameplay for that already.
This is really going to get a lot into the different clans of the Masquerade, which there's a lot of different ones I could go into, but there's usually, at least within the tabletop, like 5 predominant ones. And a lot of bizarre personalities that come out from them. I'm really excited to see it. And speaking of things I'm really excited for, the next game was Yakuza Like a Dragon, coming to Xbox as well now. I'm still super fucking hyped for this game.
Another franchise I need to fucking start playing. I've been so excited to eventually start that. I've been really
Wouldn't
excited.
it be great? Wouldn't it be great if like you could play a game like how Neo learns Kung Fu in The Matrix? Have you ever seen The Matrix?
No, that's on my list to watch.
The way Neo learns Kung Fu in The Matrix is they just download it in his brain. And he wakes up like 5 seconds later and he knows Kung Fu. I wish you could do that except for like everything.
What was that fucking old Nick show? Alan Strange or something. What the fuck was it?
The Secret World of Alex Mack, you mean?
No. Fucking. Ooh, I'm gonna look it up.
Was it like a claymation
it was
show?
like no, it was like the black dude that was the alien that came down from Earth, and he was like, fuck. Okay, hold on. Keep talking. I want to find it.
All right. But yeah, I fucking have become a huge fan of the Yakuza series over the past year or so. Played through now 0, 1, and 2, and really excited to start the trilogy. The 3, 4, and 5. Probably get around to that once we're out of all this madness, and then play through all those. Really excited for Like a Dragon. I can't wait to it. Especially the RPG change is going to be interesting. Playing through 7 games of beat 'em up goodness and then going into just a straight up JRPG will be kind of weird. But man, it's good to see that they still have that just humor of the whole franchise amplified. Seeing a high orbital fucking laser strike in there was bizarre. I don't know the context of it. I just hope that's a super attack you get. I love all the cameos of the characters, Goro especially. It's always good to have Majima in there. This looks like a whole celebration of the franchise, but at the same time where it is its own unique story. If you wanted to use that as a jumping on point, you could. It's just that a lot of the kind of side elements in it are definitely kind of nods to the rest of the series, so you kind of miss the context of them a bit. But hell yeah.
And also the game is completely different gameplay wise, so I don't know if it's a good starting off point if you want to play the other games. Like if you want to try this game and then go and play the other ones, you'll be like, what the fuck? It's not turn based anymore.
So it was the fucking show is called The Journey of Alan Strange, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because I was a kid watching that. I got so fucking jealous because he was like the way he'd read books, he put his hand in the book and you'd see all like magic go through it. And he just fucking retained the stuff in the book. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I wish I could fucking just put my hand on the book and not spend all this fucking time having to read it.
For years, Adrian has hated this man for something he can't actually do in real life. No, I just envision you hating the actor, thinking he could actually do that.
Yeah, I have so much shit I still gotta play through. That's why like I'm like semi kind of rushing through FF7 because I just want to get to other stuff soon. I need to knock so much stuff out.
Years of waiting for that remake and his ass.
Oh, I don't fucking care.
What a fucker.
I don't have a horse in this race. This is a game to me. You could have called it Final Fantasy 16. I'd be like, all right.
You can't have a horse in the race, but can you have a race in the horse? Anyway, what's the next game?
That was the last game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Assassin's Creed fucking Odyssey.
Yeah, so yeah, let's
talk about that. Not doing well on YouTube right now.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I wonder why. They could just, I don't know why when they posted on YouTube, realized there's really no gameplay in it, so let's just take the gameplay part out of the title and maybe get rid of some of that backlash. But I don't know, there's snippets of gameplay. But when you advertise your live stream as a fucking gameplay reveal, I'm like, you don't do camera shots of like your character like doing like cool moves in a way where it's obvious you're not actually playing it because
you expect something like what they did with The Last of Us 2, where it's like, holy shit, that is like a solid 10 minutes of fucking gameplay.
Yeah. Or even Odyssey. Odyssey had a great one during the I think 2018 Xbox one or Ubisoft, whichever one. They had like 10 minutes of gameplay. It was awesome. It was like it was like you're in like a big battle and stuff. It was cool. It actually made me want to play it, except I didn't play it. But whatever, there's a lot of games that year. This one I do want to play, but they didn't do a good job of showing it. A lot of not doing a good job at showing stuff this year, if I feel like. Like even Xbox is a culprit at that with gameplay, except there's no gameplay really in the stream. PS5 is just like, you should just show your fucking system.
That Microsoft can set you up from that again. I'm just like bizarre. I'm like kind of confused as to why like we're so far in this Xbox Series X cycle of news, and we still don't even know what the fucking PS5 box looks like.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of wild to me.
Which is exactly what they did with PS4. They showed the controller first, right? At one point,
I think that's what they do with every console. Is they've shown off the controller first.
But like, and to be fair, we didn't see the box until even later for Sony.
Yeah, E3 I think they showed it.
Yeah, but we didn't see a lot more earlier on too. Like at least we saw like actual gameplay tech demos, like besides Dead Space.
At least Knack. Show us Knack 3. Show us Godfall. They still have yet to show us that Godfall game. It was a leak of gameplay. They didn't actually show that though.
It's just weird that Microsoft has been running the show with marketing. Like, they took over fucking Game Awards. Like, that was the talk of the town for Game Awards. They came back in. They side by side with how they show up their specs. Sony did this Mark Cerny thing, which would have passed 7 years ago. Did not pass now because things are different now. But Microsoft was smart, and they're like, hey, people like Digital Foundry, and they give Digital Foundry all this stuff to, like, because people watch Digital Foundry. They know what they're getting when they watch Digital Foundry. It's like, cool. Fuck it. Give it to them. They'll make it cool. Let them have it. And they did. They made it cool, and everyone liked it.
Yeah.
You know what the common denominator is here? Jeff Keighley wasn't involved in the process. Got to get him involved. I think he was
involved in the process for this, actually.
Doritos Pub
which also, we didn't put that in the news. I think that was either, like, super late last week, or maybe we just barely missed it. But Jeff Keighley did announce, like, a Summer of Games thing.
Yeah. I thought we did talk about that last week.
I think we missed that. Let me check really quick.
Well, while you're checking out,
we didn't.
Okay.
So Jeff Keighley, he announced that for every month going forward, there's going to be major news on something in particular. Like it's like almost like E3, but like it's like E3 broken up over the summer. So it's going to be very weird. Like it's going to be very bizarre for all of us looking forward to like stuff like E3 because Nintendo's not doing a direct, which sucks.
Yeah.
We are getting at least an EA Play that we know confirmed in that time. I think Ubisoft might be also confirming something around that time.
Yay!
I'm trying to think of what's still like staying in E3 week.
EA will show us bullshit. Ubisoft won't show me Bianca and Evil 2, so what the fuck is the point? It's like, what the fuck? Who cares? Like, really?
That game doesn't exist.
Good fuck, yeah.
I feel like you just dreamed that. If you go and look on YouTube right now, look, no, it's not. Look, it's not there.
It doesn't exist. It's just not there. Yeah. Oh. It might as well not be there.
It's cool that we're getting that, but it's gonna be so weird, and I'm kind of gonna miss it too, because it was like three awesome days if you were just like into that shit, you know, of like it was like Christmas for 3 days, you know.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, wake up, you see, it was like, all right, we had a good mojo. Or like Microsoft on Sunday, cool. Then you had Sony and Ubisoft on Monday. And you had Nintendo Tuesday. Just 3 full days of just awesome stuff. But
sad day.
Yep.
Well, at least we have Stadia still.
Yeah, there you go.
Can't wait for next Stadia Direct, where they show shit we already know about.
Of Nintendo not doing something right, they got hacked.
Yeah,
so this is not related to the accounts that they lost last week.
No.
This is a leak.
This is a massive leak. A partner company, from what I was digging into this about, that retained a lot of information that Nintendo basically just held in a storage. The source code for the 3DS and the Wii were completely leaked online. The authentication keys for every Nintendo console up to the DSi was leaked online. And a lot of debug and prototype game builds got leaked online. Like almost all the Pokemon ones got leaked online. And this is huge. Like this is a perfect opportunity for the emulation scene to really grow and adapt. Because basically now we can go ahead and perfectly see exactly how they made the Wii, like 100% right down to the instruction assembly line code that was sent through. Every little bit of detail about these consoles are out there now.
Does that have actual ramifications, or is that just kind of like cool things to know now?
It has the ramifications of now, so like how emulation has kind of moved on to emulation on a chip, so to speak. So there's software emulation where someone goes ahead and tries to have a program emulate what it's like being the hardware, versus emulation on chip is basically you hard code a piece of hardware to be that hardware. And that's like the dedicated system for it. That's how like the Super Analog is able to almost perfectly play a lot of original NES games and the SNES ones. This could lead us possibly to us getting something like that where we could have a Wii on a chip. And I'm 14, don't mind me. But we could go ahead and get a Wii console on a chip and have perfect emulation for it. You could get a Wii on a chip. You're going to pee on it. Shut up. Anyways.
I hope you're telling yourself that. Anyway, continue.
Wow. I wasn't even thinking that.
No,
And
neither was I.
I'm the one that usually goes there.
I was straight in my head and thinking like, what's he? He wants to put his dick on a chip?
You want dick chip over here? What the fuck?
Anyways, but no, there's huge implications that come with this.
So it's a ramification towards emulation, but is it like anything like production, like anything else that's, or is it just gonna be weird shit for us like fun fact look at now?
It's in the short term a lot of fun fact to look at now, but in the future it means we could be seeing a lot more software for coming out that, like the homebrew scene alone could just actually be full authored games now instead of just trying to kind of sideload and hack into there.
But it's all old shit, so like Nintendo shouldn't really be freaking out.
They'll be freaking out because now they have to be very wary of everything that gets put out online to make sure it's not using one-to-one what's in their source code, because that is still something that's copyrightable, so they can go ahead and send out cease and desist on that.
So if they're ripping off their code, sure, but everything else, like emulation-wise, if they're taking shit, it's like, well, not much you can do there, aside from...
Exactly.
I like the... Gordon, did you look into the... like the slides they had of why they picked friend codes and stuff?
Oh, that was so stupid.
I heard about that. Like people wouldn't understand friend requests or something like that. That's what
it was like. They didn't understand friend requests. They'd be upset if they didn't get the name they wanted.
Yeah.
It was weird stuff that just sounds like Nintendo logic.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it makes sense from the concept of, like, they were going for literally grandmas at that point of, all right, let's just go after everyone possible with this console. Well,
and then,
yeah, someone that is not inherently
14
a
years
gamer.
later.
Yeah.
My dad still plays the Wii.
Yeah, see, exactly. He can get the new Just Dance game every time it comes out, so...
Yeah. No, he plays Wii Sports.
Wii Sports, yeah. Hell yeah. Let's go.
He doesn't dance. He doesn't dance. He just plays.
What'd you do? You walked in, your dad dabbing with the Wii.
I abort him.
you disappear?
I go back in time to kill two birds with one stone. It'll be like that part in Endgame when Don Cheadle just like suggests killing Thanos as a baby. So it'd be my own father. For no reason. Anyway, what were we talking about? Code or whatever?
Anyway,
I was falling asleep.
That's about it, yeah.
I was getting Mark Cerny flashbacks.
Yeah.
I'm already tired as fuck. He's just like, code. And I'm like, sleeping.
But speaking of dancing, MK11 Aftermath revealed.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So that was, man, I was not expecting that third character reveal. Holy shit.
So educate me on what happened, because I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch it?
I mean, I'm not like really well versed in MK11 or MK in general.
Matter.
So Aftermath is a story DLC that takes place literally right after the events of MK11.
I didn't play MK11, so I don't want to get spoiled.
Well, that's not the. Don't shut up.
Fine, you tell it. You tell it.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Adrian, fucker. Talk. Fucking
all right,
say.
Talking. With my hiccups there, but yeah. So
go drink a cup with a knife in it.
Yeah, go pee on a chip or whatever the fuck.
Hey, you want to explain how you get rid of hiccups to the fans?
Yeah,
this is anyone that knows me knows I've been doing this for like 15 some odd years. But whenever I have really bad hiccups, I just pour myself a glass of water, throw a knife in there, and drink the water.
I like he says that like he throws a knife, so it's a hole at the bottom of his cup now. I don't get it. I don't get why that works.
I don't either. It's just
you think that your brain,
here's let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you exactly. I know exactly why. This motherfucker had hiccups one day when he was a kid. Drank some water, but he was too lazy because it had a knife in it, so he didn't take it out. So he drank.
Why is there a knife in it?
I don't know, because he probably pulled it out of the sink and it was gonna get clean, but he's like, fuck it, I'm a kid, I don't give a fuck, I'm David Roy. So he just pulled a cup out of the sink that had a knife in it, filled it with water, was too lazy to take it out, drank it, and said, oh, it cured my hiccups. I guess that's the reason.
So he's not lazy. He's not lazy enough to say fuck a drink at all completely, but fill a cup up with water and then drink it. But he is lazy enough to take out the dangerous weapon out of the cup that could hurt him.
No, as I'm thinking about it, I think someone actually recommended I try that. I think that's what it was.
Someone that doesn't like
and they're like, I think I heard something about the metal.
I'm gonna fucking look that up right the fuck now. I've never heard that shit.
Hey, someone recommended a 15-year-old kid to fucking drink I'm assuming you're like 15.
I was like 14, 15 at the time, 14. Yeah.
All right, so someone recommended him as a 14, 15-year-old young lad. Does he barely grew his balls?
This is the fucking Norwegian cure for fucking hiccups.
Yeah, and they're Vikings.
It's a real thing. No shit.
Yeah, anything's real. I mean,
pointy side down. By the way, they have to fucking say.
Yeah. Why is that? How about this? You hiccup, and then when you're done, you're done. Well, you have to put a knife.
Look at that, and that's David, by the way.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Norwegian David. There he is. Viking right there.
But yeah, no. So I didn't have good influences in my life, but.
Anyway, MK11 Aftermath.
Yeah, so the aftermath of everything else.
Pretty badass. Victor Wolf with some knife in it.
Hey, at least I feel vindicated now because there's someone else that has done
that's a fucking folklore and fucking like Norwegian shit.
I read about that in school in shit you shouldn't do 101.
Anyway, explain Aftermath to me.
101 Aftermath. Not going to go into the exact story details because don't want to spoil it too much. But we got character reveals as part of it. My boy Fujin is back, and goddamn, he looks fucking good in this game. Shiva is back, which was interesting choice, but whatever.
I like Shiva. What the fuck?
She's okay. Whatever. But the character that caught me off guard entirely, so it pans out to this cop car, and I had the same thought that Gore did because I watched Striker. Yeah, all right, because I was a Striker main back in fucking MK3 and stuff, so I'm like, hell yeah, I'm fucking down for Striker.
By the way, if you don't know, he's just a cop. He's literally that's it. Where Johnny Cage is a movie star, this guy's just literally a cop. He has no superpowers whatsoever. He's just a cop. That's his character.
He was just a cop.
He uses a flashlight to beat you to death. Like, it's good. Anyway, and a gun, obviously.
But, yeah, he's got a gun, he's got grenades, he can just fly across the screen with a fucking police baton and throw people with it. It's great.
That's what cops have, of course.
But yeah, well, I mean, we got a cop, though. We got the cop of cops. Fucking, it pans over, and we see these fucking metal pants, and then it fully pans up, and it's fucking RoboCop.
RoboCop? Just fucking RoboCop. I was like, who the fuck is this chat?
I'm excited to watch that. Gord's reaction.
You should have just watched it. I don't know why we had to tell.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Yeah, but I just want to know your reaction now. I'm more sold on that.
Okay. Okay. All right. I lost it.
Yeah, Gord's reaction is great, especially to the other part that is after the second reaction video, especially. But no, so they showed that off. They also revealed at the end of this one that they're bringing back friendships. Oh, yeah. And holy shit, those new friendships that they've showed off so far are fucking great.
Yeah, David posted a GIF of one earlier today.
Yeah, but sadly didn't have the part that you love the most.
Oh, I love that part. That dance is great. I hope that's an actual dance in the future. I'm sure Fortnite will rip it off in a future update, but it's so good. All of it's great. And that fucking reveal RoboCop. And it's actually the same actor too, Peter Weller, which I couldn't tell. It sounded weird, but I guess it's been 30 years since I played him.
RoboCop versus Joker now?
I mean,
RoboCop versus Terminator, obviously, right?
Versus Joker.
Oh, it's more bizarre one, but yeah.
It makes sense because they had that game. So, relive the game. Remember RoboCop versus Terminator?
You don't
remember that game?
I had that on Genesis.
The classic game. You play RoboCop
and run back.
Yeah, yep. Salty run back.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why that game was good.
That was a good game.
Anyway, yeah, friendships are back. Stage fatalities are back too. New skins, new characters, new story mode. Supposedly it's like $40 though. But I guess it makes sense. A whole new story mode, 3 characters, a bunch of new fatalities and stuff. That's cool. Supposedly it's $40.
Long ass fucking story mode for $40.
I'm sure it's probably the same length as the original. Which is it's like 5 or 6 hours. I'll get it. 3 characters. each character is usually like $8 anyway. So right there, it's
and if you consider the fact that I think competitively with it not having been I mean I don't know if it's gonna be a thing now with Evo being online, but not having had a slot at Evo.
yeah.
I mean, now you might as well just go for the people that care about the like story and lore of MK11 and get those people rather than have more characters because you're not gonna
throw in more crazy characters.
Yeah, because you're not gonna get any more competitive if people didn't care for it that much. That part.
And Mortal Kombat's the new Soul Calibur, so because Soul Calibur was that game that would have like every game would be like a weird character. Of course, Soul Calibur 2 had 3. If you got, they had Spawn also, which is funny.
Spawn.
And
Spawn, Hayashi, and Link.
Yeah, Link. Yeah. 4 was
Yoda and Vader and.
No, what's his name though?
Starkiller.
Starkiller. And 5 was Ezio, and then 6 was of course Geralt and 2B. So.
Yeah.
And the Samurai Showdown guy, I guess. But yeah, so. I guess Soul Calibur's still doing that, but Mortal Kombat's the bloody version. But anyway, it's good stuff, man. That's a good trailer. Did they release some fucking awesome trailers? No matter what you think of Mortal Kombat 11, I think it's great. The trailers have been phenomenal. Like every single one.
I'm a big Mortal Kombat fan. I'm always going to buy every Mortal Kombat when it comes out. I don't like the gameplay of 11, but yeah, I'll be looking forward to
one Sunday eventually.
Yeah, maybe.
But I don't know why you said maybe.
Can't wait to type X in that one. But one thing I do want to mention is that the new Mortal Kombat movie came out, the animated one.
Yes.
And it's great. It was great.
Hell yeah.
Was it good?
Fucking violent as much. First 5 minutes, Scorpion kills like maybe 100 more dudes than like any other Mortal Kombat games I've seen. The movie goes fucking nuts. It's still a cartoon though.
As it should.
But it's good shit. It's good shit.
All right.
It's fun. Anyway.
Next story.
EA is committing potentially, kind of committing to cross-buy for PS5 and Series X.
Which is funny because in the stream that we did, when they said, "Oh, we're gonna upgrade your thing," I was like, "Oh, good, look, EA. Now it's gonna look. Now if you don't commit to it, you're gonna look like an asshole." And then right after the stream, EA comes out with their thing. So apparently the smart delivery is only gonna work for a limited time, and that being like a 3 or 4 month window.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, to be fair though, all the games that are gonna be eligible are probably because they probably won't have anything else besides Madden and FIFA and do they have an NBA game? I don't think they do, right, anymore?
No.
I don't think they got.
Yeah, they got.
Do they have? Yeah. So FIFA and Madden, and by the time that 4 months is over, the next game will be out anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I get that, but I mean, like, why even make a big deal about it then?
It's probably more so, honestly, for the investors than anything. Just be like, yeah, we're doing this thing that'll help us out financially over this kind of crisis with COVID, and really probably just more for them to be like, see, we have an idea for immediate revenue stream still.
So, does that mean they'll release like physical copies of that game that will look like Xbox One Series X or whatever the fuck it's called? Like, will it be different box art? Because after the 4 months is over, you'll have to buy the Xbox Series X version to get that version.
I think there's just 2 SKUs like it was last generation, but if you bought the 360 version, it just converted over.
Right. Okay. I want to see what the cover art's gonna be.
I think there's placeholder cover art right now for one of the games, unless it's like super basic. It just had Xbox on it. It was like no.
That's what Xbox. Pretty sure that's weird. We'll have the little symbol, I bet.
It said Xbox and then it said like smart delivery or something on it, so I'm not sure, and that could be just placeholder stuff that's just for what it is right now, but it could be that too.
That's very strange. That's very strange.
But anyway, they also announced a couple things. They announced that their revenue this last year was really good. They have a lot more stuff announced for this year. I think they have like, I don't know how many, like 11 games next year or something like that, or 17 or something like that.
Yeah, even though their disappointment of, Battlefield fucking 5, just only sold 7 million copies.
They're also gearing up for the next one, so whatever.
Splatoon 2 sold more.
I'm honestly at the point where I still really want Bad Company 3, but I don't fucking want them to touch Bad Company 3 at this point anymore.
Well, they'll make you pay microtransactions for the jokes, so in the campaign.
would.
Buy $1 for Predator reference. I'm like, fuck. All right.
I need a Predator reference.
I need a Predator reference. And they just say, like, oh, get to the chopper. I'm like, that's the fucking obvious one.
I like the idea that it said, oh, pay $1 for a dab joke. You're like, no. So then when it gets to the dab joke, it's just silence.
Yeah. That's good. Hey, you want to hear a dab joke? Sure. And then it's just silence. Well, that, you know what? That would be the moment where I'm like, microtransactions are pretty good. But when I don't pay for something, it's better.
They said there's gonna be an EA HD game. I didn't look into it. Apparently, that people are like saying that's gonna be Mass Effect trilogy remastered.
I would love for that.
You know, it'd be hilarious if it's like Madden 2004.
Dude, that'd be great. I'll play. I'll get that.
Like we said in the stream, like Madden 2004 is the only Madden I actually played for a good bit too, like a lot. My brother had that game, so that's why I played it a lot.
Madden 2004 is regarded as one of the best ones.
Yeah, it won Game of the Year. Remember at the Spike Video Game Awards? I mean, that doesn't mean anything. That was like literally the first year, so they had to get the dude bros in there, and that was the most dude bro game they had at the time. Hey, now it's Call of Duty.
I agree. It was still fun though.
Yeah, it's a fun game. What was it? The budget? What was it? ESPN 2K. Those games are awesome. Those are like the budget games. They were like $20. One of them had like a first.
They did announce there's gonna be a new EA Sports game.
Oh really?
Yes. They haven't said what.
Let's take a guess. Let's do a guess and see if we get it right.
Do we think they might be bringing back like the Street series?
Did they say a new sport or just a new series?
I want to say EA Sports. I can't check right now, but I want to say.
I don't think EA Big exists anymore, does it?
So, but I mean, they're not gonna make a whole different branding for that. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it could still be.
I would fucking kill for NBA Street, but like not shit.
It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be. I mean, the last one was pretty good. Home Court. I thought that was pretty good.
Wasn't bad, but
that was the last one.
It didn't have the charm though.
Yeah, no, it tried to go more realistic with its graphics.
One of the
It was like when Def Jam tried to get realistic. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
I want to say it was one of the only 1080p games on 360 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it ran really well. Like it was a gorgeous game. I'm like, I'd keep the art style of the first three.
Yeah.
2 was a classic, man. NBA Street Volume 2 is fucking incredible.
2 is pretty fucking good. I played a lot of that. That and NFL Street. NFL Street was great.
I barely played NFL Street, but I always wanted to. I just never had it.
Those are great.
I played it when I was at a friend's house.
Those are pretty good, but I don't know. I can't think of actually a sport. No, they have hockey already.
Basketball, fuck it.
Badminton.
Dodgeball. That'd be dope.
Dude.
Just fucking wail on some motherfuckers. Except they'd fuck it up, so it doesn't matter. It'd be too serious for its own good. It'll have a shitty story mode, like every one of their fucking sports games does that. Fucking embarrassing. Have you seen some of those sports story modes?
No.
I remember Madden tried doing one.
Madden had a really bad one. But actually, to be fair, the worst one was not. It was the 2K game, which I know is not EA. But it had the one that Spike Lee directed is some of the worst shit. It's like Spike Lee directed it, and it's like the worst shit. It's like so generic, like you have to get off the streets because you in the hood or whatever. I'm like, come on now, Spike Lee, Jesus Christ. I'd rather watch his Old Boy movie than this shit.
They're probably like, these guys are gamers. They can't understand deep stories, so just
deep stories. Like get out of the I've seen Boyz II Men. Thank you. No, I meant Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Boyz II Men.
Thank you.
A Link to the Past.
I've seen them in concert.
Yeah, I have. Link to the Past.
Last story before we go on our topic and get out of here. The Last of Us 2 story trailer dropped, along with confirmation that the game has gone gold.
Yep. That has a lot of dislikes.
See, I'm curious because now I'm like, should I still keep my collector's edition to sell on eBay to flip? Because I still have those, or am I not going to be able to sell those at a profit enough?
You ordered 2, right?
I have 2 LA editions and 1 collector's edition.
I might actually take one if you don't mind. You asked me before, so well, if it's all right, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like,
I'll have to I'll see if I can swap the address. If not, I'll have to ship it to you, but it's not a big deal. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. If you can, it's not that big.
No, I can, and I do have the collector's edition too. If you don't want the backpack or vinyl with it.
Okay.
Those are up for grabs.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off air.
Yeah, get out of our business.
Hey, Stream.
Hey, Stream. Hey, Sigma, is he still in the chat? Shout out to Sigma. He was chatting earlier.
Sigma, Casey, or
Yeah.
I shows live. I
shout
don't
out
know
to
who's live.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
Tokyo Game Show 2020 physical event has been canceled. The digital event will be
Yeah.
held instead. Just
Yeah.
breaking news.
Breaking news.
So Neil Druckmann also came up there and said that kind of made a message saying, and which I liked. He came out and thanked everyone. Which, by the way, we have an update. The hackening of Last of Us 2 was confirmed to not be a Naughty Dog employee, as everyone speculated, including us. But it was confirmed to be an outside source that got code that was able to break into Naughty Dog, like via an older game.
Right.
Granted, that's some crazy hack for like someone that's like completely outside.
I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah,
you know?
like conspiracy goggles made me think like, I don't know but I'll take their word for it.
Well, I mean, hey, Sony's been we should mention that Sony's been copyrighting people's videos too, and these are videos that don't even have gameplay, just talking about the leaks and stuff. So, I'm glad. Shit, if ours got copyright striked, I would have been so upset.
I would have fought that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, you definitely fight that.
Yeah.
But fuck that. But yeah, they've been doing that. There's been a lot of videos about like people getting copyright strikes. Somebody almost lost their channel because of it that they had for 10 years, even though all they did was show a frame. Like they only showed like a frame of it.
They should have not
of any spoilers, just of the game. Like just like as one of those things. Yeah, just to have something in there. It was just it wasn't a spoiler. It was just like a frame of gameplay or something like that. Okay. So I mean that's bullshit. Yeah, either way, like.
But which I mean you can't really stop that, but you shouldn't be attacking the customers when you already you're fighting an uphill battle now with Last of Us Part 2 being that it's kind of getting hit negatively. I'm still very excited for it.
I'm super excited.
I still have a lot of trust in there.
I think it'll be good.
And I think I like Neil Druckmann's message where he said that hey, even if you saw the game, even if you heard it, like no matter what you heard, what you've seen, it does not reflect you actually playing the game from start to finish, which I agree with, because if you watch the cutscenes of Last of Us 1 only, cool. A lot of the really cool moments come from the gameplay and the dialogue that you experience through that, you know. Like we talked about like Ellie's puns was not a cutscene. Those are was that?
I said you could miss those too, like in the actual game when playing it. So
a lot of that stuff is not going to be in there unless you actually just sit down and like play through it and find it yourself. So I have trust that game will still hold through without just having seen all the cutscenes. And I'm very excited for it still. Very, very excited. All right, that's the news. We're gonna do a topic.
News. A topic, a thing we haven't done in months.
We've been pretty jam-packed with a lot of stuff, so.
We've been jamming.
All right, our topic. I brought this up a couple weeks ago. We're gonna do it now. I'm asking all of us to put in like on top of our heads what our top 5 are right now. If someone's like, as I am, asking like, hey, name your top 5. Just a second, whatever's today, name them. We're gonna come back over a year from now, not on the year. Maybe we will in a year, but at least a year from now, we're gonna come back and really reevaluate what our top 5 are, because I feel like a lot of times we solidify a game in our top 5, and like, you know what? All right, this is how I do it. Maybe that's why I'm so confident in what I was about to say or what my games are. But I like to solidify my top 5. I'm like, all right, those are my top 5. That's how I feel done. But they don't really interchange too often, if ever. But I want to spend at least a year kind of reflecting on that and seeing what my top 5 will be now. Now that I can actually I'm gonna comfortably kind of step out my bubble and replace those. So with that said, who wants to start us off? I feel like you guys are both kind of conflicted, so maybe I could just start it and.
Yeah, I mean, I have a list. It's one of those things that I say this all the time. Whenever someone asks me, what's your favorite anything, it's very rare for me to have a consistent answer. I'm very much you ask me on a different day, you're going to get a different answer because.
Why you dreaded all this?
Yeah, because it's one of those things that I love so many different games for so many different reasons. So to come up with yes, this is my definitive, top 5 list of games, it's a really weird thing for me.
So what I want is, I'll start us off to kind of to set the pace. To explain the top 5, explain why. We're not gonna have to go into a deep discussion because we're not gonna really do that. But then when we come back to this, and if we replace that, or if we put something new in there, we're gonna explain why and like what kind of dropped it from the list, or what caused it to fall off compared to the game that you do want to put on there. And then we're also kind of talk about maybe games that we think are ahead for like games that will solidify themselves into that list as well.
All right.
So my top 5, I'll go through each one, explain, then move on to the next. My top 5, my number 1 has always been Halo 2.
Yeah.
That has always been my love and joy. I feel like that kind of brought me into a whole other level of where I am with games. Xbox Live was the Wild West, but that was such a weird and bizarre and awesome concept to kind of just play online with these people, and that was it. Like that's literally what I do all these days with Overwatch. Is exactly what I did with Halo 2, which is I hop on, play some quick play, find some friends to play with, and then call it good. So revolutionary for its time. And even though the story mode's like disappointing to a lot of people, I still think it ended cool. Like it ended on a badass note. A lot of cool moments. Had a lot of cool secrets in the campaign as well. Finding the Scarab gun.
Yeah.
Finding the soccer ball, stuff like
cool.
that.
Soccer ball. Yeah.
Breaking things. Breaking things even because the multiplayer is so janky too. Finding your super jumps, breaking the level, finding all that stuff with friends. A lot of cool stuff you can do with that
breaking
game.
out of the world.
Yeah, like that is not a thing I do anymore. I do not really break games like in a way like speedrunners do. But that was a game where I spent my time and I was okay with spending my time in there. I loved finding custom games somehow randomly, and they were going on for hours and hours and hours with these same people, and you're just all hanging out, just playing the same map, like playing 4 or 5 hours on lockdown, snipers only, and that's just what you just did.
Yep.
There's so much cool things about Halo 2 that it's I'll never have that again in like that sort of confined space. You know, I explain to everyone every single time I talk about it that back in the day it wasn't, hey, what you go online, hey, what's everyone playing? What game is everyone playing? It was you go online and say, hey, what playlist is everyone playing right now? It was all your friends were on Halo 2. Very rarely you saw maybe 1 or 2 games from some other people. Everyone was just playing Halo 2, and you just hopped in with one of them. That was awesome. Another game I have on my list is RE4. That is a classic. That's one of the few games that when I always talk about, I said that's one of the few that I would give a 10 out of 10 to. Now, that is also going to be one of the ones that I think are most in danger of falling off my top 5 list, just because I know that the game has aged. I know that a lot of things have happened with the game. I will be going back to the HD remake, and even though I used to play that game like yearly, I've stopped since that. I've stopped for a while now, but I want to go back and kind of reevaluate and see how that goes and see if I still feel the same way I do about it, because I loved everything about it. I loved the 3 different chapters of it, essentially. All 3 were significantly different from one another. But I'm open to that one dropping off, especially because like something like Resident Evil 2 does what Resident Evil 4 does, but so much more refined, so much more it just does it all just a lot better now, you know.
Yeah.
But also the tank controls do kind of do a factor in Resident Evil 4 and kind of bringing in that horror aspect where you can't just walk away from a chainsaw guy. You have to run enough and then give yourself some space to take shots. Next up is The Last of Us. We talked about this last week. It's still a top 5 game to me. Even when I played it, I still felt like that too. I just kind of want to see what would debunk it if possible. I don't know if anything will. I'm kind of curious how Last of Us 2, if it'll have an effect on it. I hope if I don't like it, that it doesn't have an effect on Last of Us 1. I don't know, because I want to confine it. I can't. From right now, I will say that I hope it does not. I don't know if maybe Last of Us, if it screws the pooch so bad that it does affect something. I hope not, though. I'm gonna try my best to keep it as secluded if so. Or maybe it becomes, or maybe I end up liking Last of Us 2 enough that it catapults even higher to me. These also aren't in specific order. Inside, another one that we've played on here. That is one I'm open to dropping off, but it kind of has a legacy of Limbo inside of it too. That was sort of the Limbo replacement for me, where it was, all right, I love Limbo so much, but Inside is essentially Limbo, just amped up and like a more clear story, awesome visuals, and better puzzles. So I mean, I can't really get much better than a game improving on that. But again, another one I want to look through. And then this one is going to be an interesting one because I have a clear, it's pretty obvious what I'd replace it with. But I do want to keep it for legacy's sake, just to at least make the conversation good to see how I am a year from now. And that's Smash Melee. Is that
Interesting?
Melee is still a game that I've sank like over 1,000 hours into when I was younger, and that's kind of like the game I went to. Even when I played Brawl, I still went back to Melee. Still, before even the memes or everyone, like even before anyone, like I never really talked to anyone about Smash. I was the only one that, like, I played. Everyone of my friends played Smash, but I was the one that like really got into it. And even back then, like, even not knowing or really comprehending what exactly was different, even though I know obviously there's stuff different, but not understanding the ramifications of how different and slow and tripping and everything it was. I still felt like there was something about Melee that I liked more than Brawl. And then with Smash 4, that was for a while beating Melee, but then at the end of Smash 4, I didn't like where the game had become, especially with Bayonetta and stuff, just kind of destroying a lot of things that's fun with that game. And now Ultimate's in a really good spot right now for having a cast of 75 characters. That game is shockingly balanced. I do want to see where the meta is in about a year, though, and see if that also has the effect of Smash 4, where I started to fall off with that at the end. So that's my 5. I think, not to go too deep into it, the one game that's in contention that's obvious I've talked about is Persona 5 Royal. That game is... I still think about that. What was it? Late last week, I think, or early this week. I think it was the weekend. I downloaded the soundtrack finally. Thank you, David. That's a lie, because you didn't actually do shit for me. I fished out an old laptop and had to fucking do that myself. I've been asking David for the fucking soundtrack, and he's like, yeah, I'll do it tonight, and then just hasn't.
For what?
Because that soundtrack you get in Persona 5 Royal.
Yeah.
I asked David because he has all this.
I have the soundtrack now.
Hey, Adrian, don't be mad, but I ordered my replacement disk drive for my computer so I can have a USB one to rip that for you.
Yeah, well, I did it myself. So
you already got it, so you just wasted money.
Well, I mean, I still have soundtracks to rip anyways, yeah.
But I was just chilling. Dude, I was having a pretty good day. I was just chilling to drive in. I had the Persona 5 Royal soundtrack. I was thinking about the game. Dude, I was like almost getting like kind of moved a little bit. I was like kind of almost getting a little teary-eyed just thinking about it. And I'm just having a good time just daydreaming about it. And then I sort of got like this old lady just across the fucking intersection with no fucking like no thought. Like I had to like fucking slam my brakes and still swerve around her to not hit her. She didn't even looked my direction, and I'm like, oh, that moment's ruined. I guess I'm not allowed to just enjoy that game still right now.
Persona battle music starts playing.
Yeah, I was like, yeah.
See you in the car with the fucking menu.
Yeah,
like, you want to use your gun,
dude. It's so beautiful. Like it's such a sweet ending that like I didn't even know I wanted that ending, but it makes so much more sense now. It's like such a phenomenal cap off to characters I universally love, and just everything about it. There's nothing. I just it's hard for me to fucking even like want to play like stuff like Final Fantasy where I'm like it's having a hard time connecting with me with some characters because I'm like. I just want to kind of go back right now. It takes every fiber of my being to not go back and just replay Persona 5 Royal for all the 100 and some hours it is right now, just to want to go back and do that again.
Do it.
Which is fucking weird, but I don't have balls. I need to fucking finish other shit. I will not finish. If I did that, I would eventually regret it because I'm like, well, shit, I'm just stuck with this backlog and now I have to work again. So. But dude, it's so fucking good. I cannot. I'm waiting for more people to finish that game so I can talk to more people about it because it's so fucking good. I'm sorry you can't play that, Gore. My condolences, sir.
I don't know why Gore keeps saying he can't play. He's got plenty of time to play.
How am I gonna fucking play it, you knucklehead?
He was ready to say something so fucked up.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah, what, to say something fucked up?
I do think
I don't see how I do when like I have all these games to play.
I will say
so you just play a little bit of Persona, a little bit of another game.
I can't play a little bit of Persona.
I think if Persona is a game that Gore's gonna want to play and like commit to, that's something he's gonna have to focus on.
I beat Persona 4 in like a week.
He's gonna be like honed in on that for a while and.
I played Persona 4 on my Vita with the Vita just like connected to the charger for the entire time.
Yeah.
You know, I played the same way with Virtue's Last Reward. That was during when
the hurricane.
Hurricane, and I went to my aunt's house, and while we were there, we were charging all of our shit there because she didn't lose electric. Fuck, even though she lived 5 minutes away from us.
And you also had to upload a Burger King, right?
No, at Burger King. Yeah, I uploaded the Virtue's Last Reward review at Burger King. I did that review while everything was out because I had my laptop and it was charged. So I was like, here we go. Now I'll go record it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, anyway, I played it like while it was connected the entire time I was there, so it's charging and I'm still playing it, so I can make progress. It was like perfect timing too. By the time I was done with that game, oh shit, lights are back on. I can jack it now, or whatever else I
do it
want
in
to
the dark.
Yeah.
So I will say, Persona 5 Royal is in the lead of making its way on there. The two games that I also have in contention to kind of like bump in there, and again, this could also change. We don't know how awesome every other game is going to be this year, or if I just find another sleeper hit somewhere else. But the other two, the main one obviously being Overwatch. After I feel like it's disingenuous to put so many hours into this game so far, 4 years into it, and just still kind of just think of it like, no, it's not one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah, but the game has Wrecking Ball in it, so.
Yeah,
and Tracer
and Genji.
Tracer's like a broken record. Everybody knows she's terrible at this point.
We just don't say it. We just all know it.
Yeah, everybody knows it. They pretend like they got it.
And I do get there's issue with the game a lot of times too, but I never stop playing this game after so many years. I still play it daily. It'd be like almost a disservice to like not put that in my head of like, it feels like it should at least get somewhere of a discussion that's replacing that. And finally, to Gore's appreciation, Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be probably one of my games I'm going to be kind of talking about throwing in there, because still one of the most incredible arcs for a main character. Gorgeous time, and I think still one of the biggest cutscenes that ever hit me is still in that game with Gornos and David. So spoilers for it's
the nun. You can just say the nun one, right?
Yeah, I'll say that.
Yeah.
There's a scene with the nun where Arthur Morgan has a moment with her, and it is one of the most powerful moments in video games. And I think that scene alone is one of the most like well acted, like that's like movie level acting. And having been with that character,
Roger Clark,
for so fucking long, and like having to like know all this knowledge about this, like you've had so many side adventures and this all that, and then getting that moment, and you're like, ooh, that's fucking that's like a hard pill to swallow right there, dude.
I feel like at this point, when Rockstar makes a game like a sequel to a previous game, people should stop saying, "Oh no, they have a new character. I want to play the old character," because everybody was like, "Oh fuck, you don't play as John Marston in this game? I want to play John Marston." And then we play not Roger Clark, that's the actor.
Oh, you do.
Arthur Morgan, and you're like, "Yeah, well, no, I was full in with Arthur Morgan. I was like, let's go. I'll play a new character. I mean, John Marston.
I have full trust in Rockstar and their stories after Red Dead Redemption 2, yeah. Dude, I still can't get over some of those moments in there. Like, it's so hard, and
so good.
The massive payoff you get. I haven't played Red Dead Redemption, like the story mode Red Dead Redemption, since 2010.
Yeah.
I still had those feels, dude, at the end. Like, it took me, it left my head. Red Dead Redemption 2, Red Dead 1, left my head of how much I loved it. I remember loving it, but it sort of just like kind of crept off just because of everything else that came out. The payoff, dude, the payoff to all this. And people say what they will about the epilogue. Some people say it lasts too long. I think it was perfect. I think it still gave me vibes of exactly how the first one started, and it just made you. It kind of just reiterated the fact that, dude, this is what you built up to. This is the empire you built in this game, and you sort of.
It's seamless. I think it's seamless too.
Dude,
it's like one of the most seamless transitions too. I'll say.
It really, really is, and yeah, man, that ending with the credits and all that. There's a song that plays.
Yeah, all the music's great.
There's a specific song that plays on horseback that Gordon knows what I'm talking about, and that's
also. Dun, shaking.
Dude, yeah, and that's also it's such a fucking deep moment, man. And I swear to God, I'm not gonna spoil this part. I will say that there's a moment with an animal somewhere later on at the end, and fucked me up. Yeah. I saw red. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
There's so many moments there, dude. And like I said, see, but and I want at least Gordon to understand that what I feel with Persona 5 Royal is almost what I feel with that, dude. The characters in both those games are just so fucking god tier compared to some of the shit that I'm seeing right now. That's why it's hard for me to I played fucking Red Dead Redemption 2 in January, Persona 5 Royal fucking last month. Then I got Final Fantasy 7. I'm like, it's fucking good. Like, goddamn, God of War 2. Like, I'm getting hit with all these really good character developments, but that's why it kind of sucks. I kind of feel shitty about it. Like, Final Fantasy 7. It's because of nostalgia. I'm not getting the nostalgia factor out of it, but it's like that's why I'm not connecting with it like as much as I really should. Because I'm like, oh, these are cool characters. Barrett's fucking rad. I like Tifa a lot. Aerith's cool. Cloud's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's an understatement.
Which is funny because he's the least weird character technically. Everybody
Yeah.
else.
No, he's the most fucked up character.
But even kooky characters like
yeah,
fucking,
but in this world that isn't weird.
but even like kooky characters that are happening in Final Fantasy 7 don't happen as fun as they are in P5R or Red Dead 2. Like
yeah.
Johnny's supposed to be that kooky guy.
Yeah, I like Johnny.
Yeah, but I don't like him as much as the kooky characters I met in those
No.
You know?
He's Japanese kooky, so
yeah.
Just
you gotta really, gotta be into that.
But I also kind of want to play Yakuza because I feel like the wackiness of that game is gonna be worse.
Yakuza, yeah. The 3 hours I played of Yakuza 0 had like 8 side characters that I loved. I wish I played more of that game. I love what I played. The karaoke shit was awesome. Which is funny. It's actually very similar to Final Fantasy VII's like dance thing, which everybody knows about. I might as well just fucking say it because I got that spoiled for me. So
anyway,
no,
fuck everybody that spoiled that.
I may as well actually use this opportunity to talk about my list then, because surprise.
That's my list, and like I said, like there may be some other stuff. I do have plans on doing stuff. I'm not saying like I'm still in games like I'm not saying they're gonna even show up. I'm saying like the franchise I'm gonna get into, like fucking Ace Combat, Yakuza, Tomb Raider, all those kind of new franchises I really want to delve into. I don't know what's gonna maybe hit my heart in the way I wanted to, but there's definitely options to be open, and then I am open to like the ones that are kind of like standing out to me the most specifically as RE4 to kind of being the one that might dip on my list, but who knows. Anyway, yeah, let's transition. So now I set the stage there. So whatever you guys want to do with that.
These are also not in any particular order either. The way I kind of narrowed down to kind of what my top 5 would be is a while back, Adrian and I had made posts that was kind of going around of, what are 5 games you would recommend to kind of get a taste of, your gaming taste.
I will say that one that I considered maybe putting in the running, but I don't know if it ever hang, is Doki Doki. That game hit me in a way that it I don't know if it's going to be a long-lasting hit, but I'm not sure if it's deep enough for me to consider in the running with it is, like how I talked about Red Dead Redemption or P5R just now. Like, it was cool, and I'm glad I got the shock factor out of it. I'm thankful I somehow avoided everything about that game until that very moment, but we'll see. It might be just because I have a very deep appreciation for that game.
It's one of those things. I think it also helps that it's the kind of Inside thing where, like, Inside was a very beautiful game. It was a very gorgeous game. And the same thing with What Remains of Edith Finch. I mean, I cried at the end of that game. And
wow, what a pussy.
Fuck you, Gordon. But it's one of those
because he wasted his time. That's why.
Yeah,
exactly.
I cried because I have to play Nocturne.
Do you? So hey, how many Edith Finches does it take to make a Nocturne?
Like 500.
All right, David. So play Edith Finch 500 times just to make Gore feel something.
Get that guy eat the peaches 500 times. I love that animation.
Those games are fantastic. They're impactful, but for some of the reasons why that you tend to like that type of storytelling, Adrian, is I feel like why I also couldn't put Doki Doki on my list. Doki Doki was a game that I really want to put in my top 5, but I didn't.
Would it be in contention for it ever if you considered it?
It would definitely be in contention. It was almost on there, but the brevity of it is what ultimately kind of took it off the list because it has such an emotional heavy weight to it. It's got such a meta narrative to it that is not really seen in a lot of, especially at the time, wasn't really seen in gaming, and very impactful storyline to it. Phenomenal characters, twists you wouldn't expect, and the heart wrench that happens as you really read between the lines of what's happening in the story. It's just, because it is one of those games that just kind of come and go, it has a lasting impact, but it doesn't have that kind of like emotional weight as something like, a Red Dead Redemption 2 or a Persona 5, where it's like, I've spent hundreds of hours with these characters, and I'm never going to let go of this kind of journey.
This is getting a little sappy, or maybe like in my romantic side of it, where I get into kind of the English like romance and stuff like that, is I have a fondness for the idea of fleeting moments. I like when the idea, when you have like a good conversation with someone, like a stranger, and then you guys are like, all right, cool talk, man. You take care, and you leave, and you're never gonna see them ever again. Like if you ever thought like process that in your head, like as you're walking away, you're like, damn, like that's like literally like the chances of me ever running into that person ever again or doing that is like that's never gonna happen again. I will die and never see that person again. This is getting like super deep and meta into that. I like the idea of like fleeting moments and knowing that like even though and yeah, you're gonna have good moments with people and you've loved and all that stuff, and that's different. That's different from like one of my favorite stories that I tell from the trip that I had when I went to see you guys was I stopped in the Allegheny Forest for a camping, and I had like an hour or two to before my spot opened up. So I found a random diner, and I pulled up there. I was the only one in the diner, and it was only just the woman in there that was cooking. And I ordered my food, and we just had a talk. We had a life talk, and she even like brought to mind. She's like, and I was telling her about my trip and everything, and she's like, "This is gonna be like a story you tell your kids one day." And I didn't really think about that because I'm just seeing a bunch of you assholes. I'm like, oh fuck it.
What'd you fucking say?
It was like because I'm seeing.
Hey, keep talking. You won't have any kids.
Thank God. So
yeah.
I
won't kill you. I'll just snip the bits.
But it's like I'm like and we take kind of like a personal talk about that, and I'm like, cool, I'll take care. And I'm driving away. I'm like, I'm literally never gonna be in this part of the forest ever again. I'm never gonna go back there again. And like it's just kind of that moment where you kind of like think about that. That's kind of how I feel with some of those games like Inside. It's like I have that moment with that game, and even though I will revisit that and I will share that with that, it's different. But it's that kind of moment. It's like what people have with Journey too. Is that some people play Journey, and it's such an impactful moment that you only get once. Yes. That reveal is something that you only have once, and you will never get that moment again. But it is a powerful moment to be like, oh, you were with someone this entire way, and you will and like you will never know that person, It's something like that too. It's something you guys shared. You guys shared a moment, but that's it. And I kind of that's the way I put behind it. So it's like different ways to counterbalance it. Like Red Dead is gonna have something with me, just because like that, and I can watch reactions to that and do all that all day. But it's like very different from like having that one and gun moment that you're like, all right. You're good.
Yeah.
You had that, and you're out.
That's why.
Sorry, go ahead.
That's why I like reactions so much, really.
Reliving those moments and other people. Yeah, it's exactly.
Yeah, not even just the reliving the moments too. It's just like even if it's like the first time, like you're watching a reaction or you're doing a reaction like I do, and just knowing that that's like just we recorded it. That's saved. I can see what I look like when Beyond Good and Evil 2 gets announced and people talk over it. And people talk over it. I couldn't even fucking hear what they said.
Hey man, I let you go at the end. I let you have your fun at the end.
Yeah. Thanks.
I kind of go with it like almost a different way where I see the reactions where it's like I kind of get that it spurs that moment of that I felt inside of it too. Like
yeah, no. I agree with that. We've talked
about that.
Reactions. Making reaction, it's like you just like obviously it's
like a time capsule.
But it's a time capsule, yeah. So I can go back 5 years ago when I don't know the Avengers: Age of Ultron trailer came out. Not that I give a fuck, but I can see like, whoa, what did I think of that trailer? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, that was cool when Iron Man became Iron Hulk Man or whatever.
We've talked about that too, where like we kind of almost get that like welling moment when we watch like some reactions, like specifically when I watch like Avengers reactions, like when people freak out at certain moments, and knowing that I was there, and like it's funny because like I showed my girlfriend when we were going to the Marvel movies, I was like, this is what happened, and she showed me, she's like, no way, and I'm like, yeah, that was my theater. Whenever like fucking Thor and Rocket showed up, and people started like cheering and freaking out, that's what happened, and I was like, when there's complete silence, I will never forget. The end of Infinity War, this crazy hyped up fucking movie that every fucking nerd was jizzing over. Complete silence. You could hear like a fucking thing drop in the back row and the front row. That's how quiet it was when it's fucking Infinity War and then it fucking dusted away. And that was it. And it was complete silence. Like I'll never forget that. And hearing and seeing the reactions of everyone else experience that too, I'm like, Jesus, man, that's fucking. It's something else.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dave. I interrupted your whole thing.
But no,
sorry, you already had something. Or?
No. Just let him continue.
But yeah.
All right, Doki Doki is not your top 5. All right, what's next?
We weren't even in the top 5 yet. There you go.
Because originally I was going to segue off of what you guys were talking about with Yakuza, and then we got into another sidetrack, but I may as well kind of go into this, though. So the game I did put on there, the Doki Doki, was my favorite game of last year, The House in Fata Morgana. And that is such a soul-crushing 100 hours of gameplay I put into that.
Damn it.
That it is.
I gotta play that too. That's gonna be another fucking.
Yeah, I want to play that.
It is absolutely
that.
beautiful, haunting story. And
ow! I hit my nose.
All right, sorry to ruin your moment, David.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
David's about to get all emotional. Like, ow!
No, this feels right.
Okay.
But no, it is such a beautiful and haunting story, and every step of the way, without going into spoilers, because it's not really a spoiler, because I mean the game sets it up from the beginning, you are just hoping for some bit of goodness to happen as you play through all the different lives of the different characters, because the game spans over the course of like 400 years of time. You just keep going into every story hoping for someone to kind of come out happy and for someone to just kind of finally get what they're hoping for out of life, however minuscule that
relates.
And it's one of those things that it just crushes.
Well, I can get what I want.
But no, it's.
Gore's such a good friend to you. He fucking remembers all your games too. What do you do? Take away one that might be his.
Yeah. But no, it's one of those things that the art style too, until you get to the true ending and then switches to just generic weeb shit. But the art style throughout because that's the only complaint I have about that game, is if that didn't have the art style shift, that would be a perfect game to me. But the music is absolutely breathtaking. The art style is very unique. It's got this kind of like French painting style throughout it, which, being a Japanese visual novel, you wouldn't expect that kind of art direction, but considering the nature of the story, it just fits so well. And it is just an absolutely haunting game. I cannot recommend it enough. Absolutely.
Did it come with the card? I forget if it came with the limited run card or not.
Oh wait, you didn't get it from limited run, right?
I got it from eBay. Oh, it did come with the card.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah, man.
But no, it is one of those games that, because of its length, spending 100 hours with all those different characters, that's why I had to put it on there as opposed to Doki Doki, just because, as much as I will never forget, like, that first instinctual reaction I had to the end of the first act of Doki Doki and what happens with Sayori.
I see, and that's shots again to what's Gore putting a capsule on his exact moment of.
Yeah, that.
I mean, I know that game got weird. I didn't think it was gonna go there like that quickly.
I still think one of my favorite things is knowing the game is gonna get weird, but wondering exactly where it's gonna go. We talked about this in the Game's Gone By. If you guys want to go back and look at, but just to reiterate, one of my favorite things, and it kind of sounds pompous of me, but it's kind of what I like to do, is like, one of my favorite parts is when I hear a joke build up, or if I see a moment in a movie that I know what's gonna happen. I know roughly where it's gonna go. I want to see if I could beat the person there to it.
Right.
So I know there's something fucked up's gonna happen in Doki Doki. I'm trying to beat fucking Dan Salvo to where fucking Salvato, is that his name, right? Dan Salvato.
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat him where the fuck it is. So my girlfriend's sitting here watching me because she played it. She wants to see my reaction. I'm like, the fuck is it? Some fucking cult shit? Is it some fucking like some death camp or something? I'm trying to fucking find out exactly where it gets fucked up and why. That's my favorite thing. Is like, and then when you like hear a joke, it's like I'm trying to like get the joke before the joke actually happens. I just like kind of doing that. It's kind of fun for me. But
right.
But I know Gory knew it also got fucked up too, so you could tell he was waiting for it, and then just put it, and it just hits.
Well, because he was like building it up too. Yeah. It was just like, oh, she's not answering. That's weird. I gotta go and check on him. Like, what the fuck?
You just left her hanging, and it's like every time I go back, and it's just like, man.
Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah.
Delete her.
If I thought, I'd be like,
are you still gonna go through and do?
I'll be like Neil deGrasse Tyson meme.
Are you gonna do any of that the extra shit in there eventually?
I don't know. Maybe in the future, but right now,
we'll do a Games Gone By.
Yeah, where we just cover all the extra.
Just do remastered Games Gone.
I mean, I know about.
No, dude, remastered would be a good podcast actually. Remastered.
So following that up is kind of an absolute tonal whiplash, and yet kind of not. Yakuza 0. This is a game that when I finished it for the first time, I said, this game is my spirit animal. And I still hold true to that statement. Yakuza 0 is this perfect blend of gritty, heart-pounding, just crime drama and bizarre, silly fucking shit that just leaves you wondering what the fuck is wrong with the people that made this game.
Oh, I'm so excited to play it.
It is, every story in that has, like, they have the best fucking timing with their cliffhangers. Every chapter you play, because it goes back and forth between two different protagonists, will leave you at this massive cliffhanger. It's like, what the fuck happened there? And it just constantly wants to lure you into it. But in the middle of this very just heart-wrenching story between the two different characters, Kiryu and Majima, because both of them are very just really just heavy in their own ways. Both of them have a very distinct character arc that they need to go through and very different consequences that they have to confront. But in between having all this very thoughtful crime drama and all this very intense kind of action, you have moments where you gotta go get porn for this guy named Mr. Libido, who's this dude in a diaper dancing around in the middle of town, or you have this kind of guy called Mr. Shakedown, who's this cartoonishly huge fucking dude that just stalks you around town and talks about how he just beats people up for their money so he can buy mountains to just punch the mountains down and shit like that. And it's just absolute tonal whiplash. It is fucking bizarre. But the characters are the shining fucking example of, that fucking game. And that's kind of the main thing that stands out to me for what I ultimately decide on my top 5 is definitely the characters are kind of what made me kind of settle on these. But no, absolutely love that game. Phenomenal. And even some of the side activities like the karaoke, I was kind of starting to say this a little bit earlier. The karaoke is a fun little mini game, but the two protagonist main songs in Zero especially are such fucking sad, heart-wrenching fucking songs because of how much it ties into their storylines and the kind of tribulations they go through. Majima's song, if you just kind of listen to it, is very kind of happy, upbeat, but the kind of nature of what's actually going on between the lines, like, oh shit. But yeah, Yakuza 0, easily in that list somewhere. After that is... I knew I had to put a fighting game on here somewhere. I love fighting games. It's my favorite genre.
Go girl.
I had a really hard time figuring out which one to put, but going
one
with...
you didn't put?
I didn't put Tekken in there at all. And Tekken almost ended up on this list because if I was going to sit down and just play a fighting game right now, Tekken 7 is pretty much what I would go to. Tekken 7 is just a beautifully refined game. The slow-mo is fantastic, and the music's great. The cast is missing a couple pieces, I feel, but it's still a well-balanced roster. And it's just an all-around great fighting game. But if I think about, again, going back to, I like characters and stories are what I put a lot of my emphasis in. And also, if I'm going to be talking about soundtrack...
I just remembered Negan's in Tekken 7. I just remembered that. There, go ahead.
I wish I didn't get spoiled for you. I wish you just... I wish.
That would have been so fucking good.
You watching that live would have been the most incredible moment of your entire life. You would never have because it was during EVO.
No, it was during EVO. But that fucking... anyway,
God, I wish I can go back in time and I'd be like, Gore, shut the fuck up. Don't look at anything. Get off the fucking internet. Let me show you this right now. Don't look at anything. I swear to God.
Man, I'm still pissed about that fucking snake bullshit that happened at the last Evo.
Yeah, that was a bad call.
I was there.
That was a bad call.
I was there. After the fucking finals, everyone's like, wait, is Snake still happening? Or
Sorry.
But no, if there's one fighting game that I think about where it's like, I absolutely love the characters. I love the absolute absurdity of the story. And goddamn, if it's also not the best fucking soundtrack in video games.
Capcom what?
One of them. No. Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus.
I'm sorry, what?
Guilty Gear XX Accent Core Plus.
Motherfucker gave his name. Is that Elon Musk's new kid?
But no, the Guilty Gear series is one of my favorite. It's just one of those things that when I think back to, again, the character roster, phenomenal. I love a lot of the characters in that game. The soundtrack is, again, when I'm listening to music, I just tend to throw all my music in a playlist and hit random and see what ends up getting. And I own a lot of game soundtracks, especially. I have like 600 game soundtracks. But if there's one soundtrack where I'm just always like, yeah, I'm always in the mood for that. I'm never hitting skip on a single track when it comes up. Accent Core soundtrack easily. I will never hit skip on any of those. Those are just fucking hard jams. Love them all. The story is absolutely batshit absurd. It's just a fantastic fighting game. And while it's not one that I regularly play as much anymore, when I think about when I was first getting a lot of my friends into fighting games locally here, that was like the great equalizer game. That was the game that, because of how so bizarre all the characters played, everyone could kind of find some kind of character that kind of worked for them and kind of go from there. Because Tekken 7 is a great game to learn fundamentals, and it's a great game to just kind of have a general even playing field. But you don't get into a lot of the wild stuff with that game until you've started to master it. And that's how a lot of fighting games are. But whereas Guilty Gear, you could kind of pull off some crazy looking shit just because everything was crazy looking shit in that. And so that's why that's in there now. Although I could see that potentially dropping off for Tekken 7, because I do find Tekken 7 to be one of the best fighting games. But just talking about the characters, the music, everything else, I got to give it to Guilty Gear there. Next on the list for me is probably not a surprise that it's a Shin Megami Tensei title, but it is Digital Devil Saga.
You didn't even get
I knew it was going to. Digital Devil Saga is I love the franchise a lot. There's a lot of the franchise I still need to explore and play. But when I think about my type of interests, kind of going to what I was saying with House and Fata Morgana, Digital Devil Saga is a very just dark and dreary story. It is this cyberpunk dystopia where, following the rules of reincarnation, these people are just constantly forced in a state of war until they can eventually reach nirvana, turned into demons, and now having to deal with that cycle potentially being broken on some level. There's just never a moment of reprieve in that story, and every time you think something is going to start to go right, it just doesn't, even right up to the very end of the game. And even the second game, Digital Devil Saga 2, just kind of kicks off with a giant fucking nut punch. And it is absolutely fantastic. The second one went off the rails a little bit for my liking, but the first one especially, plus one of my favorite secret boss fights in the franchise. You fight the protagonist of Nocturne in it as a secret boss, and absolutely fantastic fight. Absolutely balls to the wall hard. But no.
Gore was mocking you as you looked down. The second you looked up, he stopped. So nothing happened.
I'm watching out of the corner of my eye, asshole.
Yeah, he likes this, alright? Don't make fun of him. Leave him alone.
And then the last game...
that one on PS2?
Yeah, that one's on PS2.
Yeah.
That's one of the cheaper ones to get as well. That one usually goes for like $25-$30.
Cheap.
Alright, tune in next year when we do that, Gore.
You think he's joking?
Yeah, I'll be mysteriously gone for those months. Because that.
Just every month, David has a game coming up. Gore's just gone.
Oh wow, that's weird. He's gone for 4 episodes straight, and then he's back. Really weird.
So the last game on my list, I really struggled what else to kind of add in here, because there was a lot of games I still wanted to put in here. EDF 5 is just a fun fucking game. It is just fun. But I didn't think it was favorite game of all time kind of worthy, but it's definitely a game I still thoroughly enjoy and go back to periodically. There's so much I want to put here, but ultimately, kind of for like what you were saying, Adrian, of how it's like, you're kind of remiss to not put Overwatch in the list considering how much you invested into that game. That's ultimately what pushed me into putting this into my list, which is Final Fantasy IX. I back when I first got my
There's a
PlayStation,
Game Pass advertisement.
Yeah, possibly. But no, way back when I got my PlayStation 1, I had the choice of, do I get the PlayStation or do I get the N64? It was like a big Christmas gift because I'm that kid that gets fucked over for gifts because my birthday is right before Christmas. But my family was like, oh, well, I'll pitch in. We'll do like a big gift for you this year for like a big thing you really want. And, we'll grab you a console and a few games and whatever. And Final Fantasy is what made me decide to go the route of going a PlayStation. You gonna be okay, Gore?
Nothing.
What's wrong?
Like, they couldn't keep you inside for another month so you can have a Christmas and a birthday? That's fucked up. Anyway, continue.
Just hold it in.
Just hold it in. Oh, it's coming out. Push it back in. There you go.
But Final Fantasy is what made me decide to go with PlayStation because I had played 7 at a friend's house and was absolutely engrossed in the game. But so when I got my PlayStation, the first few games I had for it were Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9 Tactics, and those were my games. And growing up, those were games I just constantly replayed, and just kind of kept going through. As my library expanded, I started playing other things, of course, but those were games that I used to have a habit of always just replaying through once a year. As I got older, too many games fucking piling up over there and over back there. I kind of stopped that. But 9 is easily my favorite in the franchise. The characters are... They're not the most refined, but they are the most human. It's one of those things that
I like them so far. I only play like halfway through it, so.
Gotcha. But no, every character, it's very much a character study, this kind of game. It was in part a celebration of the franchise. It was kind of the return to formula of the classic games of chasing crystals and dealing with a big bad, and versus the kind of more futuristic sci-fi of, like 8 and being military kind of style, and to a lesser extent like how 7 and 6 were. This was much more back to traditional form. But the character growth and character struggles that everyone kind of goes through, like Steiner is this gigantic fucking asshole from the moment you meet the prick. But his journey that you go through, not without spoiling anything, is one that's like, it puts a lot of that in context, and it kind of makes you understand, if almost completely forgive. It's like, no, I get it, fam. I get it. Vivi especially. Vivi has the most heartbreaking fucking story. His story basically begins and ends the story of 9. And it's such a poignant story that he goes through, that the kind of character growth, the emotional impact of what Vivi goes through throughout that game is by far one of the most beautiful. It is one of the most well told. And there's a lot of things about 9 that are not great. I know a lot of people hate the art style. I personally don't mind it, but it's definitely something that puts a lot of people off from it. It's definitely one of the, for most part, easier Final Fantasies. But all in all, its story is absolutely fantastic, and it's a game I've played more times than I will admit to saying. But it is a wonderful game and easily deserves to be on here.
Okay, now what would you put on there now?
Fuck. So as I kind of said, I mean, EDF 5 would be a game I would almost want to put on here just because that game is just fucking fun. The game is fun.
The game is fun. If it's not fun, what's the point?
Exactly. Well, I mean, Left 4 Dead isn't fun, but that was a damn good game.
Huh?
What?
Remember, I was like, yeah, the gameplay is eh.
Left 4 Dead?
It's fun. It's fun, though.
Yeah. Watch Dogs 2 is more fun.
But what's the point, then? Watch Dogs 2, exactly. Watch Dogs 2 is fun.
If you just put Watch Dogs 2's gameplay in Left 4 Dead, you have a perfect game right there.
I don't get you.
Anyway. Alright,
Are you
anyways.
talking about the right games?
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead?
No.
You said Left 4 Dead.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
I keep doing this every fucking time.
What are you talking about?
Last of Us.
You want
He
Watch
did.
Dogs 2 to play like Last of Us, or you want?
No. He remember he kept calling Last of Us Left 4 Dead.
No, that's fine. I don't. You want to fucking like have the fucking
No, he
promo?
just doesn't like the gameplay. He doesn't think it's fun. But he still likes the game. I almost
Because like I said during the Games Gone By segment,
I'm
like,
confused.
yeah,
I'm confused if you're doing a funny meme or not.
No, he doesn't
No,
like the game.
serious.
You don't remember he said he doesn't like
No,
the
I
gameplay?
get that.
He
I'm
didn't
trying to
think it was
ask,
fun.
does he-
And if it's not fun, what's the
Does he
point?
genuinely want Watch Dogs 2 gameplay and Last of Us?
Oh, yeah, why
No,
not?
he was just referencing that because he thought that was fun, but he didn't like the gameplay.
No,
But
have
he
it
didn't.
just 1-to-1. I want to call, instead of calling rival gang, have it be calling the infected over, you know, calling the
You call a
police.
rival gang to go put a hit out on a clicker. No, that'd be great. If they put that in Last of Us Part 2, that's Game of the Year.
Fuck the criticism.
Ella's like, yeah, this motherfucker's been talking shit. He's like, oh, hell no. And you just see that fucking car roll up on a clicker. Alright, let's see that now.
Alright.
But,
Gore's in.
That's it. Fuck it. I don't even care. I got spoiled.
so yeah, the game is fun. Chrono Trigger is a game that easily could have ended up in here too. Like Final Fantasy.
I'm not talking runner-ups. I'm talking games that still have the potential to be in there.
Well, that's the thing, is like everything is a runner-up to me because I
There's
barely
no
could come up
runner-ups.
with
There's
this
games
list.
that you're gonna be like on here or not. If you're not gonna consider it next year.
Nope.
No.
All right.
If you're phrasing it like that, no.
I'm talking like I'm not talking games that you just swapped off there now. I'm talking about like games that you think have a solid chance of knocking out one of these right now. All right, Gore, you're up.
All right. I'll try to get through it quick.
You're fine. We're still under 3 hours.
Yeah.
Are
By
we?
a couple minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Fuckers. All right. So, all right. Let's get
Let's educate here.
Let's educate.
All right, so
let me tell you what's actually good. It's
Stardew
All right.
Valley.
Stardew Valley. No. Red Dead Redemption 2. First game
I
up.
never heard of that.
That's like this. So it's
is that like Pokemon?
That's like
Where's
Pokemon,
Blue Dead Redemption?
except fun. Yeah, there's a new version, Blue Dead Redemption. All right, so Red Dead Redemption 2 is easily my favorite game this generation, I think. I can't think of any other game that really I loved that much. That game was phenomenal. I know everybody doesn't like how you walk and shit. I don't know. I played like
Or you just
I play
power
like
stance or something?
I played like fucking 10 what?
You just
No,
constantly walking in a
people
fucking
don't
power
like how
stance?
you have to mash A to run.
Yeah, and also just the heaviness of the character when you're moving and takes them, which I don't fucking get really.
It's like almost
I
like
played
it's like
130 hours of the goddamn game and I was perfectly fine. Never had one problem.
It's a fucking western. Like the fucking guy's not gonna fucking move like fucking Neo.
But it's also supposed to be like, for the most part, besides a few moments in the story, it's supposed to be pretty realistic. I mean, to the point where you're going and scavenging still for food and stuff, and you're going through drawers and you're setting up camp, and there's no real. I mean, there's a fast travel, but it's not like, oh, you just set up a camp and then whoop, you're somewhere else. You actually, it tries to be realistic enough but not enough to not be fun.
Right.
It has probably the best world I've ever seen in a video game. Just being able to explore that, it feels alive, it looks great.
There's lots of
Considering
stuff
how
you can
big that
miss
game.
too.
Huh?
Lots of
Yeah.
stuff you can miss too, like not even just.
Yeah, a lot of it you can. But it's one of those things where it feels like no point did I ever want to fast travel because I felt like I was going to miss something. And you definitely will if you fast travel a lot. So I never used the fast travel in the game. If I had to go all the way on the other side of the map, I was like, that's a journey. I gotta go.
I started to use that towards hour 100 some.
I've never seen how it even looks. That's one thing I've never seen.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
I can count on one hand how many times it was because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I want to finish a mission. I'm like, I'm just gonna go do that. But I mean, you're talking you're missing out on some stuff where I remember one time I was specifically gonna fast travel. No, I'll just go there. Fuck it. And I would go there, saw a guy limp on a horse,
Yep.
fell off, and that was a whole ass mission.
Yep.
That was a whole ass random like
It was
cutscene,
random.
like not cutscene, but like scripted event mission. And
Yep.
you see him later on. He starts having a conversation with you about you doing that.
Yep. It's just amazing. Like, you could find people that like got bit by a snake, and you can either decide to help them or not. If you help them, like they'll give you a present or whatever, not present, like a reward. And next time you go to a shop, you can just like get something for free.
You're
It's like,
you're like, hey, you're the one that helped me. Hey man,
you're
look,
the
this
guy
guy
that
helped me
helped me.
out. Hey
Don't
man,
buy
whatever you
anything.
want there, take it.
I'm like, all right, I'll get the most expensive freaking thing, baby. I saved your life, so I deserve those boots, baby. So it's a world that is probably the most alive world I've played in a video game.
And I think, and again,
And of course the story.
I've never had a game compliment my time from a decade ago as much as Red Dead Redemption 2. Like I've never had a game say, hey, we're gonna pay you off for all the time you spent into the first game. Right now, right here, right now, all that time you spent, the 50-some hours, almost like maybe 50, 60, 70 hours you spent in the first one, we're going to make you even happier you did that. Not even that happy, maybe more completed. It's like, it's a full story.
So is it honestly genuinely better to play the first one then play the second, or?
You don't have to, but yes.
Definitely.
You will get a lot more out of it.
Definitely will.
Because
the first one is a complete experience, but it just adds a lot more appropriately with stuff, not like even like blatantly like, oh, like you can tell it's like, by all intents and purposes, what Red Dead Redemption 2, like the story of that, and then like not having Arthur in there, like, or be part of the first one, it feels like, oh, it sounds like they just tacked on some shit. They really didn't. Like, it's like,
no.
It's so seamless that it feels like it was just the second chapter of a thing that was appropriate. But like, it builds so much. It's hard to explain, but like, it Rockstar respects your time so much here. They said we know you like this first one. That's why you're here for the second one. We know you beat that. Here is everything paying off to that. We're all every moment of this is a payoff to that.
Yeah.
And it's own way too.
It's just amazing how well they make everything work. Like, there's scenes in the game, not even scenes, I should say. There's moments in the game that you won't even notice they're building up to, but just things in the game, like you could watch an entire house being built in the game. Like if you just stay in town, you see a house like currently being built. But if you just stay there for a long fucking time, you can watch that entire house being built there. It's just like stuff like that is incredible.
It's got continuity within itself too, so you'll hear like stories just progressively as time goes on. And no, like it's just kind of wild how well it is. And I said this when I first played it earlier this year. It's wild. This is the only Rockstar output we have this year.
Yeah.
But when you see the fucking like sheer quality and substance and like beefiness of that game, it makes sense how it was an all hands on deck to make this game. It felt like they were like, all right, look, we're only gonna make one. Let's fucking knock it out of the park and do a killer game. Even though like GTA 5 is fantastic, even though LA Noire is fantastic, I know that's Team Bondi. Even though like Max Payne is fantastic, they were like, all right, we're all gonna work together on this and make this one incredible, and they did.
I look forward to when we finally do it for Games Gone By.
We'll see. When, but and that's the other thing that I love is that, or that I. No, I should wait. Let me go back. Actually, I wanted to say something else before I get to another thing I love. That's the one thing I do dislike though, is when they put so much work into this. They put so much work. I mean, I know you can hate on them for all the crunch that they had to do. I get that, but like just the amount of work that they put into little things, like I said with the house being built, and then people just say, yeah, but the controls are weird. So I play 5 minutes of it. I'm done.
And
they put almost 10 years of work into the game, and it's just like, meh.
I will say the controls do sometimes feel antiquated, but something you can't get used to at all.
I did not have a problem with it at all. Like Grand Theft Auto 5 didn't have that. I don't feel like Grand Theft Auto 5 had that negative or whatever criticism, and it controls like exactly the same to me.
That's fair. I just think going forward, I hope they refine their control system a little bit more. That's fine. That's like the one complaint, even if it is. But like, I never at one point, people want to say how like hard it was control. After so long, it just it's just immersive, and I just don't have any. There's
It
not
just
one thing.
feels-
There
it
are
feels
some
unique.
things. There are some things 40 hours into FF7 that I'm still kind of messing up on button prompts. Like I'm still kind of like pushing the wrong button just because it never really hardwired with me. At the end of
Right.
even like that time in the Red Dead 2, nothing felt weird. I was not misclicking anything. I was not like, nothing really out. It was just doing its own thing.
Right. Yeah, no, I get it. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, I love the story too. All the characters are phenomenal. Every single character is phenomenal, even ones you barely spend any time with. And that's another great thing is that you can spend time with some of these characters. You could just like do little side things and stuff.
You could play
It's great.
cards with
Like
them, and they'll give you all new dialogue, and you learn about them there.
dialogue. They'll talk about things that happened in the past. It's just great. It really
I
is.
don't think there's a bad
the
character in that
feature's
game.
amazing. Not a single bad character. The only one I could see someone saying is kind of iffy is like the villain character. That's it. Because he barely shows up. I don't want to say anything else besides like he's kind of just like he's the Pinkerton agent.
Oh.
Yeah,
But
I heard some criticism about that character, but I was like, hey, I like him. He's just villain man though. He's
Yeah.
really he doesn't have much other.
But he's like not even like the central part of that.
And and technically he's not a villain. He's
Yeah.
if anything comparatively he's the good guy.
But to roundabout, it just gets so much satisfaction for me from building on an already incredible game in such a seamless way that I'm like, and it being a prequel, but technically it's labeled as a sequel. It's funny, but being a prequel and just building so much on that, which is something I just never knew I wanted out of Red Dead. Red Dead stands so well on its own. If there was never another Red Dead, you'd be like, all right, well, Red Dead was awesome. Like I loved it. Now it's like, well, it's just that much more awesome. That's how I really want with Last of Us 2. It's like Last of Us 2 can either like cement Last of Us 1 that much and just further it. I hope it doesn't just fall apart and break it apart. As the opposite of Red Dead Redemption 2 did. It furthered it in every aspect.
Exactly. But yeah, anyway, that's Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's get to my next game. My next game, which probably isn't a surprise, is BioShock Infinite.
Oh, you like that game?
Yeah, I don't know. It's okay, I guess.
I need to pick a random game right now, man.
Now, the entire package of BioShock Infinite, when it comes to like the game itself and then the 2 DLCs that were just like 2 episodes, the entire thing, when it comes to stories, is probably my favorite story of all time. When it comes to video games, I love it. I really do. Like, I love how twisty it is, how insane it gets. I love the characters. Booker and Elizabeth are fantastic. I love all the side characters. BioShock does that better than I think any other game is telling you who these characters are in audio logs, like side characters I'm talking about, and doing it well, where a lot of games don't really do it well, or a lot of games don't try to even do it. They just have like audio logs just to fill up like collectibles, you know. Like you can listen to them, but it's like bullshit. But this game is like you want to find all the audio logs, the voxophones, because they're all like unique characters, and you learn more about them and the plot itself and the world. The world itself, Columbia, is fantastic. I love everybody talks about the gameplay. At the time, I loved the gameplay. I thought it was great, especially if you play it on
it was fun.
It's really fun. Yeah, sure, but I think it's great because it I feel like the gameplay gives you enough time to learn all your abilities, know what combos with what, and the gunplay and stuff is fun. I mean, I'd rather have the not infinite, but like the
BioShock Infinite.
The radial wheel of weapons like BioShock 1 had, where you have all your weapons besides just picking up 2 at a time. But I don't know. It's still fun. I really like the gameplay, but the story is really
You're obviously a big BioShock fan, right?
Yeah, which is funny because I wasn't until BioShock Infinite came out.
I was about to
but
say,
BioShock Infinite I was so excited for because it just looks so fucking good.
It looked different. That's why I got into it too.
Yeah.
But I'm laughing because I still remember how you just never played 2.
I did play 2.
All the way?
I got all the way to the end, and then my game fucking glitched out, and my save data got corrupted.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't finish it.
You didn't beat it.
I'm not. When I say I got to the end, I'm not even kidding. I was at before the final boss, and it was like really early in the morning. And I did the same thing with BioShock Infinite also. I played a lot of it, and I got to the end, and I was like, I don't want to finish this tonight. I should have, because by the time I came back to it, my fucking save was gone. So I just watched the rest on YouTube. So
well, maybe we'll do it for games gone by.
And you haven't played Minerva's Den then, huh?
I didn't play Minerva's. I heard Minerva's Den is
really
terrific.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I didn't play that, no, but that is on the collection, so if I do want to play it, it's there. But, yeah, so Bioshock Infinite, I mean, not much else to say besides I love it. I've talked about it many times.
Move your head, you can see all the fucking...
I got a statue here. Here's her head.
Yeah.
It's really weird that
always
comes off.
Weird you keep doing that.
It's really weird that it comes off. But, like, that's... Everything else, like, doesn't really come off. Her legs don't come off. One of her arms does.
Stop talking about this. Move on.
What? What? Her head comes off. She's
gonna be in Mortal Kombat.
I put it in a box and Morgan Freeman opens it. That's a reference.
What do you
anyway,
do if she shows up in Mortal Kombat?
That doesn't make any sense.
Oh. So?
Hey, a big daddy would make more sense than fucking Elizabeth.
Who cares if it makes sense?
But like RoboCop makes sense.
Shut up, Gore. What's your next one?
Elizabeth from BioShock doesn't.
They call her that too.
Elizabeth from BioShock. All right, so my next game. Next game, guess what?
What?
Stardew Valley.
I knew it.
I don't need to say much. I'll just say this: Stardew Valley is a peaceful, nice game. Comparing it to the last two games I talked about, which aren't really peaceful. Red Dead Redemption 2 can get peaceful, though.
You bought Stardew Valley
until someone comes up to your camp and fucking robs you. Then it's like, all right, now I'm pissed.
Or steals your horse.
He steals my horse, yeah. Which
you're gonna have a lot of bullets in your body. You do that.
Yeah, I use every single bullet on my gun, and
I use all my Deadeye.
I use a shotgun too to blow up the head.
I use all my Deadeye. I use all my tonics, and I do Deadeye again. Whenever
somebody fucks with me in the game, I always make sure to like really fuck their body up, which I know sounds weird, but
hey, this emotional game, man. You know we have really good characters. Hey, you fuck me up, I'm gonna fucking go like murder psycho on you.
Yeah, I'm a scorched earth. Like just like get the Molotovs, dynamite, throw it. Make sure, dude. There's a character at the end that you kill. I'll just say, that's exactly what I did. I threw dynamite. I fucking threw Molotovs. you probably know what character.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. So, and Stardew Valley is not that game though. Stardew Valley's fun. It's cheerful. It's colorful. The music's amazing. I love farming in games. Obviously, I've loved farming ever since Harvest Moon. Obviously, that's the OG. Is Harvest Moon, and Harvest Moon on the GBA is what I played a lot. That's Friends of Mineral Town. I love that game. I really do. It's a great game, and ever since then I've been addicted to like farming games. There's a big gap in between Stardew Valley and the last game I played, which was
a good month of PS Plus for you then, huh?
Oh, what is it?
I know it's Farming Simulator, and then what the fuck else is it?
That's not what I mean when I say farming game.
Well, let me see what the other one it was some other game like that.
But anyway, that's why I even like Rune Factory 4 so much, which I need to go back to. But
City Skylines.
That's not farming.
Yeah, I know.
I do like
farming in Metropolis.
I do like city builders though too.
Yeah, well,
I like.
That's your kind of month though. You're farming and building stuff.
Isn't City Skylines still on Xbox Game Pass?
No.
Or is it? You got taken off? Okay, you got taken off. Whatever. I don't have time for that right now. So it's like I got this right here. You hear that?
That Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne.
I got this edition.
Alright, yeah, but you like Stardew and you bought it so many times.
I love Stardew Valley. I bought it on Switch, Xbox, PC, and Android. So
why don't you just buy it on PS4 and just finish it?
Yeah, might as well. I do have it physical on Xbox One also, I should say. So, and I also I have a shadow box that used to be here of Stardew. So go to one of our earlier episodes of the podcast, and you'll see.
Get a PS4 version. Just finish it.
I'm even considering getting like this kind of Pixar for all of the characters, and just like put it on my wall somewhere.
You never bought the
what? Pixar is awesome. I love it.
You never bought the plushes? The plushes from Fangamer?
Yeah, the Jumikos. I forgot. I don't know how to pronounce their names. The little guys.
The balls.
Little JoJo things.
Junikos, I think they're called. Yeah, I mean those aren't my favorite characters, so
get fucked.
They made plushes of like, I don't know, a cow. I'd get that over fucking. Anyway, I love Stardew Valley. It's a peaceful game. It has one of my favorite soundtracks too. So peaceful, so nice. Just go listen to it while going to sleepies. But anyway, it's a great game.
Final game on your top 5.
No, he's got 2 more.
He wants us to get the fuck over with, obviously.
No, because you still have. I just want to hear your potentials too.
I only said 3 games.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
Bioshock and Stardew Valley.
Oh, okay. I was. I want to hear your potentials too, honestly.
I will. I'll say. All right, we'll get through this one quick because you already talked about it. Halo 2. Halo 2, I played a lot of as well. I didn't play it as much as you competitively, but I played so much custom.
Custom games in that were so Wild West too, because like the motherfuckers had to fucking it was the fucking Scouts honor shit. Like
it was.
And that was like you want to play zombies, and then one asshole, oh no, I didn't get hit. You're like, fuck you.
Fuck you! I saw you get hit. I was right next to you. Dumbass.
The Battle of Troy was fucking awesome. Cat and Mouse.
Cat and Mouse was great. I love all those. I love all those fucking.
There was a charm into making
Predator was custom for Halo 3.
There was a charm to Halo 2 where you had to make your own custom games because Halo 3 gave you a lot more flexibility and customization, which is cool. But it takes away from some of that like, oh, you had to like jankily like make this idea just so out of your own head, rather than like, oh, okay, they gave me the tools to do that.
Which is great. I love it.
Yep.
I loved it. Zombies was comparing how much I played just Zombies mode, which isn't even a real mode in Halo 2 in custom games. I probably played that more than any other game on this list, even Stardew Valley. I played Zombies so much, and that was fun. I made some friends on Halo 2. I don't talk to them anymore. It's been a long time. It's been really long time. Actually, I still have a few of them on my friends list. Which every time I guys. My friends like, oh, there's Shiny Boss Monkey. That was one of the guys on there. Shout outs. Bacon on Rod, guy.
I said that one of the most surreal moments I had was on my trip where I meant to go meet my old Halo 2 buddies. That was wild. Cool. That was fucking weird. I was like, God damn, it's finally happened.
Yep.
Good guys.
Good guys. Less if they weren't, though.
I'd be dead.
Oh, well. Oops! You don't have a real Halo.
when we get into live Blue Rupees, when we all meeting up and doing an episode together.
Alright, we tried. You didn't want to.
Yeah, I remember you're like, I'm scared Gore might touch me or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to touch you.
I don't think that's how this went down.
This behind the scenes stuff. We shouldn't say this. It's like, what a weirdo.
Let's go with us up. Let's plan something.
Yeah, well, maybe later. But anyway, Halo 2, great. Campaign's awesome. All the secrets, that's another thing I did a lot. The high jump on oh, fuck. I always forget the names of the maps because I suck. The city one.
Endless Winter. Zanzibar.
No, it's not Zanzibar.
Headlong. No.
Headlong.
Is it Headlong?
Yeah, it's Headlong. I'm pretty sure that's Headlong, right?
I'm fairly confident it's Headlong.
Zanzibar
even the city one. The one where you have to balance on
the half ramp and everything, yeah.
That one we used to do all the time because that was the easier one to do, and it was always that one where you tried to master it, and it's just jump on a particular pixel and then you fucking whoop, and then you have to land on a thing. It's like an adventure. It's like, oh, let's see what's out in the fucking great beyond. And there was no YouTube really back then. There was, but it was very limited. So you didn't see what the fuck was there. So you're like, I have to find out myself. Nowadays, PewDiePie would fucking make a video about it and everybody would know. But back then, there was no PewDiePie. You had to do it yourself.
Like I said, same thing with
PewDiePie.
There was just same thing with finding really cool lobbies that were open. I remember I remember there was one of my, I still remember the name too, which is kind of funny. I remember I saw one old montage from someone called Abused Goat back in the day, and it was really well edited for especially for what the time was, where it had all the medals in the bottom and it kept count of every time they hit a different medal. That was cool. And the way he'd do it is he used to host lobbies and just 6, 7, 8 hour lobbies just playing nothing but the same map, and that's why you get so many cool montages. Because play 8 hours of any game, you're gonna get some cool kills. But I remember just seeing that video on GameSpot video back in the day, and I just randomly joining lobbies from friends of friends of friends, and I ended up in one of his lobbies. And I'm like, oh cool, I know that guy from YouTube, and you just fucking going around, get some headshots. It was so Wild West. You had to do so much of your own stuff to make that game good, which is what made it cool.
Yeah.
Which sounds it sounds ironic. I'm sure anyone that's not as is more newer into games thinks why is doing more work to find fun, more fun than just having the stuff right there ready for you. But just something about it, that discovery of your own, and as you're saying, discover the journey of it,
Yeah.
It was cool.
It's great. So yeah, Halo 2. Like I honestly,
Sir,
when it comes
finishing
to
this fight. Worst, most blue balls of my life. Also one of the most hypest fucking things I've ever heard.
yeah, sir, finishing this fight, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh, it's over. It's just like, and then at the end, you have the grave mine. That's his name, right? Hive mine, grave mine, whatever his name's. Cutscene. So it's just like, okay, well, there you go. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Halo 2 was great. Campaign was great. Everybody was upset about the Arbiter, and I was one of those too. But then I played it. I was like, yeah, Arbiter's cool. I don't give a fuck. He got camo, so he got camo. That's dope.
We had a sword
and you like start off with a sword, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. no, man, you got me.
Multiplayer. I played that. Yeah, I told you guys.
And it was Keith David too from the thing. So you know what, you got me already.
And I told you guys I played Halo 2 LAN with an old high school buddy and a bunch of the old people from high school I remember hanging out with, and still so much fun. Still holds up. Like, it's still incredible how much that game holds up.
Yeah, it holds up. It's
Halo is just classic. Halo 1, I could see people not feeling it because it's still definitely slower, but Halo 2 is just something that just clicks.
I really need to play through the Halo games again at some point. I need to give them a fair chance.
And it still looks good too. I mean, I know it's up res now, but like if you play the Halo 2 anniversary and you go back to old graphics, it looks really good. Some of the background, honestly, I was playing it and some of the backgrounds look better than the anniversary. Well, yeah, but just play Stardew Valley, that looks better.
No, there's a coolness to the art style where it's very clear for its time, but it's also not like overly trying to be something so that it fits, you know.
Yeah.
It's like it doesn't overstep its boundaries, but it still looks really good for a generation.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great game. So Halo 2.
Those fucking cutscenes and trailers going up to it, oh boy. Those are for some fucking hype things, man.
Yeah, that's some good shit.
Anyway.
Yeah, bet you can't hit it. You're on.
Yeah. Or just fucking taking a bomb out and fucking
traveling down.
I love that. Like, that trailer is like for
a brick, he floats pretty good.
I remember that trailer was so fucking good. I remember I bought that demo disc actually from Walmart for $5 and had that trailer on it, and it was just like elimination of what was it, like a I forget the word, like sedentary like life form completed, destruction of a foreign AI construct destroyed, and just doing this, and then protection of human mankind in progress, and then Chief just like pulls a fucking bomb out and tries to go down. I'm like, dude, you're fucking nuts. I'm like fucking, it's like middle school, but I'm like, you're fucking ball, dude.
Anyway, Halo 2 is great. Everybody got the limited edition collector's steelbook.
I didn't actually.
I did because they had like a bunch extra. Because I pre-ordered the Halo 2 regular, and I didn't know about a steelbook one. And when I was there, they was like, "Hey, you want to just add $5 and you can take the steelbook?" I was like, "Yeah." Well, I think the steelbook is more common than the fucking regular version now because they had so many limited.
Well, dude, for $5 extra, hell yeah! Like, I would buy any game right now.
Oh, dude, that steelbook's awesome, and that disc with the like behind the scenes stuff. That was some fun shit because it was just like, all right, I want to watch this, and it's just like Bungie doing like they had like Bungie Day where they just had like they just go outside and like play. I'm like, this is weird. They do like activities and shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, any game that I like right now, I'd pay $5 more for a steelbook exclusive version of it with the bonus disc. Like any game right now. Fuck it.
Persona 5, if you got the regular version, it was free. It didn't come with an extra disc, but it was a steelbook.
Yeah.
So, and it came with a dynamic theme, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine doesn't work.
What?
The dynamic theme for my Persona 5 Royal.
How does it not work?
I put in the fucking code and it's like, this isn't valid.
You didn't email
I looked it up. I looked up online. I guess a lot of people have run into that issue. I guess they're trying to do some other kind of redemption service for them.
Maybe mine doesn't work. I haven't put it in yet.
I had to change it because it's the same song and just keep looping over and over again. And I like to leave all my video games on idle for way too long.
Yeah, me too.
And the girlfriend said, "How do you listen to that song over and over again?" I'm like, "Oh, I should probably change that 10." So I swapped it over to the Final Fantasy 7 one because at least it's the instrumental that doesn't sound as grating as the same vocals over. I love that song. I don't give a fuck. I listen to it every day. But I'd swap it over. All right.
Last one. Last game, and then we'll get to what didn't make it. My last one is a game that I always think about. I love it a lot, and I mentioned it earlier in this call. or this podcast. Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward.
Wow. All right.
I'm actually surprised Doom isn't on this list.
Which one?
Any of them.
Doom 2016 would definitely be somewhere in my top 10, most likely. But Virtue's Last Reward is that game. Like 999 I loved. I bought 999 off just a whim because I love Phoenix Wright.
That you had the same life with the Deadly Premonition that you had with 999.
I just bought it when, to be fair, 999 was like a month old at that point, but it was like one of those things I was just like, I have money, and this looks like it's up my alley because I love
There is nothing more
kind of
cool
games.
than finding a really awesome game out of nowhere that
and not knowing anything about it.
Like that's how I am with Beautiful Joe, where I didn't know what the fuck it was, and I just bought it. And I'm like, dude, that's some fucking good shit.
And it feels good because I was there from the beginning.
Yeah, before
I made
it
that
turned
series.
to Zero Escape.
I made that series what it was.
Yeah, Jim Sterling.
Yeah, Jim Sterling.
Gore Sterling.
Gore Sterling. Yeah, Deadly Premonition was one. That was both in the same year too, I think. Deadly Premonition 99, 2010. But good year. But yeah, so 999 was fantastic, loved it. But when it got to Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward has like maybe the best constructed story, like how they present it.
You know,
like, I love BioShock.
Stories, right?
I love BioShock Infinite. I love it, but the way they tell a story is a little bit more linear. Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry.
You know how he writes the stories, right?
No, how's he write them?
He writes them from Memento style, from the back to the front. That way,
that makes sense.
That's why the twists hit so well. It's because he's writing like the twist first.
The first one, and then he works down from it. That makes sense. It's a good way to
dude, those twists when they hit you in that game and you start to fucking when the pieces start to fucking fall into Virtual Last Reward, it just blows your fucking mind, dude.
Yeah, and I just love every single minute of the story. Like every puzzle is great, and every single one is like smartly done. Where to the point where you're just like, I've never played a puzzle game quite like this, where it's like you have to know basic like not basic math, but like advanced math at times, and like these things that it's a little weird that certain characters know this stuff. Like I haven't played the game in a very long time, but I do find it weird that certain characters will know like advanced like math and advanced chemistry and stuff like that. Just out of nowhere, like, yeah, you never heard about this thing? I'm like, I guess that's why they got picked, but still, it's just like one of those things.
I kind of like that though. How
I like it too.
Like we all have some weird fun fact of like something really smart in our head.
Yeah, exactly. It's like that, like Ice 9 or whatever.
Yeah, that Virtual Last Reward will be a game's gone by eventually, like sometime, not this year, but probably sometime next year. But
probably, well, 999 would probably be the first one, right? You gotta do that one.
I mean, I'd say we do that, but I think. I don't know if we'd put all three of them or even two of them. Maybe, who knows? Well, eventually.
No, they're long games. So.
At some point, VLR will be a game gone by. That's going to happen. But dude, I agree. That game is. I can't wait to go back because I feel like that might be one of the games too that might even just hit me harder the second time around.
Yeah.
I definitely want to play.
There's moments in that game that really hit hard, like really, and it's like it's such a good game, and the puzzles are amazing. Huh?
Got someone else in the chat.
Oh,
we're talking about our top 5 games currently, and we're going to go and reevaluate them sometime next year. Gore's doing his final one on his list before he talks about the ones that might take over. And right now it's Zero Escape Virtue's Last Reward.
Yeah. And yeah, so this game's phenomenal. I love it. I really do. It's like I said, it got me through a hurricane, and it was good stuff. So that hurricane, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of just no electricity.
It went by pretty quick, man.
It went by pretty quick. I mean, I could only play about 3 or 4 hours a day, but you know what? Until I had to go and get my PS Vita charged up again because, it's a fucking PS Vita. But yeah, it was great. I hope that series comes to the Switch because that's, that has to, right? It has to come to the Switch. Why is it not on the Switch yet? That's perfect for the Switch.
What
are you doing? Where the fuck is it?
Also, I appreciate that.
What do you say?
You watch my YouTube videos, which I assume are the podcast, so hey.
I thought you were going to say I look cute or something. Maybe
David says that all the time.
It's true.
Yeah, that's David.
All right, let's hear what your ones that might contend for top 5.
All right, my contenders. All right, so
David started. For all the audio listeners out there, David started punching the air.
All right, so Overwatch, of course, would be in there. I have the same reasoning as you, where it's just like I can't just ignore it. I spent many days of gameplay in Overwatch over the course of 4 years, so I can't just like it's not my favorite game, whatever. But yeah, like right now it's not in my top 5. It could move in there, but like when I think of Overwatch and when I think of these other 5 games, I have more negative stuff for Overwatch, but that's mainly because of the
because you keep having to go back every day.
Yeah, exactly.
And I into it.
Yeah, I don't go into Stardew Valley hating somebody in the game, so let's just say that. Same thing for everything else. Even Halo 2, like a lot of custom games playing with people I actually, ended up being friends with. So it's like, I have to take that in consideration a little bit. But Overwatch is an amazing game. I mean, what the fuck? It's phenomenal. It won Game of the Year, and yeah, it's great. But my other game that I was considering putting in my top 5, it's definitely in my top 10, is Beyond Good and Evil, the first one, which.
I'm surprised
that's the only one that exists.
I'm surprised that has not been a game's gone by for you yet, honestly. Like, I thought that was gonna be like one of your first.
I was actually going to do it for both April or July, not like both. Beyond
Good Evil again, baby.
Yeah, in HD version this time. No, but like April was just like, we should do this, but then I thought about Last of Us, so it would be perfect, so I did that. And then July,
I cooked you out of there, and you're like, well, I guess I wasted my pick, and then it came back. You're like, all right, I didn't wait for that pick.
And July was another one where I was like, Beyond Good and Evil, and then I was thinking about it, I was like, yeah, no, let's keep this PS4 train going. Then I did Shadow Colossus. But yeah, Beyond Good and Evil is definitely one of them.
Imagine that'll be a Gore's pick one day.
Yep, it'll happen. Get ready, it's coming. Another game that's most likely won't be in contention, but I kind of want to just shout it out anyway, is one of my favorite games growing up. I would love to go back to it because I haven't played it in a very long time, is Breath of Fire 2.
Oh, yeah.
Breath of Fire 2. And I don't like turn-based games. I've said this many times, but there's a few that I do like. There's just a lot where, like, newer games that come out, if I'm just not sticking with it, it's just, like, Persona I'm good with, but if I play, like, I don't know, Lost Dragon, no, what is it called? Blue Dragon, sorry, not Lost
Dragon.
I combined Lost Odyssey and Blue Dragon, but like Blue Dragon, stuff like that, just, I don't know. It just doesn't get me. But, that's why I like games like Tales and even like the Mana series more. But Breath of Fire 2 is phenomenal. I love that game. And I think, and the reason why I don't think it would be in my top 5 is because I haven't played it since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I didn't play like a ton of JRPGs. I played this. I played a couple of Final Fantasy games. I'm talking about like turn-based games. So yeah, I don't know if it's like what do they call it? Like rose-colored glasses or whatever.
Yeah.
But I just want to give it a shot.
Are you gonna potentially?
Nobody talks about it. I would love to if they brought it to the fucking what is it called? The Super NES online thing. They have the first one.
So if it does show up, are you going to give it a chance and maybe go back and
I would love to. I started Breath of Fire 1 again, like when it came out on the online thing. I got like maybe 2 hours in. That was the only game I played on there too, which is funny. The only game I played on that online thing. Breath of Fire 1, I don't think I ever finished, to be honest. Breath of Fire 3, I got all the way to the end, and then no wait, was that 3 or 4? Shit. One of them. Speaking of like, we're talking about saved deletions earlier. That one I had a major one where it was. I think it was Breath of Fire 3. I got all the way to the end, and that one just like, boo, like my save was gone. And as a kid, I was like, fuck it, I'm not going back. And I also rented it from Blockbuster. I had to return it, so it was like one of those things that was just like, well, maybe later. But anyway, I like Breath of Fire as a series. I wish it came back. But 2 is great. Anyway, and I guess I'd throw Doom 2016 in there for sure. I love Doom 2016.
I feel like depending on where you like let Doom Eternal bubble, I think that might be.
Yeah. But right now it's too early to say. Yeah. So a year from now maybe. The original Doom's also is something I should consider because I mean that's started it all really when it comes to first-person shooters. I guess you could say Wolfenstein, but Doom was the one that was really popular. That really. But anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. If I want to throw out any other ones that I would love to return to see if it could possibly be in there, we mentioned Silent Hill before. I would love to go back and play like my favorite Silent Hill was Silent Hill 3. I know everybody loves 2. I love 2 also. But
I'd probably honestly put 3 above 4. Or
3 has the scarier imagery to me, and I like the story that continues.
From 1, yeah.
There's one game that fell off my top 5 when making it that I kind of want to see because it might actually be topical if this happens. Is Mass Effect 2.
Oh yeah, Mass Effect 2.
Mass Effect 2 is one of the other games I would put 10 out of 10. It was between Mass Effect 2 or RE4 putting on this top 5 right now. Mass Effect 2 is the very rare thing. You guys notice this, and you guys call me out on it all the time. Is that I have an issue with playing a game in the middle of the franchise. I always want to start from the beginning of it. But Mass Effect 2 was one of the ones where I had all those Kmart fucking discounts stacked up. Mass Effect 2 would come out, and everyone's saying, "Oh, this game's really good." And I'm like, "All right, I'll grab it." And didn't play it for a long time. But it's one of those games where it's okay starting in that, because people complain about it because it's so almost more self-contained. I know David, that's what he feels like when it comes to that. It's too self-contained. It doesn't really push that much in the overall arc of it. But that game, almost how we talk about with characters and everything, that's really one of the games that really started it all with how I feel about a lot of characters in games, where you always have it might feel antiquated now, right? Is that you have one personal mission with them, then you go off and do your own thing. That might feel like not as seamless as it did back in the day compared to what we're doing now, where every character sort of just gets built on like throughout the game. But dude, nothing has ever got me to pause a game and pace around my living room more than the suicide mission, where it's like, hey, you gotta send someone in here right now. They might die if you send the wrong person in there. And I remember like it was hey, we need someone with like engineering stuff to go into this room. And they gave me like 3 options, and like the obvious one was Tally. But I'm like, that's my love right there. Like I can't, if she dies because I fucked this up, I have lost this video game. And that carries over. That's the fucking levity of it.
Carries over 3.
Not only did you just lose this video game, you lost the next video game.
Yeah.
That you were sacrificing a character you care about right now. If you are wrong, you will lose them for the rest of your journey here. That put me like to the point where I paused the game and I was like, I need to think about this. I need to think about it, because even if I don't put Tally in there, someone I still like a lot might still die from that. And they usually give I think it came out like 2 of the choices were usually right, so it didn't have to be like the one of them. But it was like, dude, that fucking like tension, and it's called a suicide mission. Like you're not predicted to come out of that. And dude, there's nothing more badass than the suicide mission theme coming in there at the end. That fucking that song I listen to a lot. I listen to that song so much. It's such a fucking good fucking like almost Avengers style song, you know, where it just builds up with everything. And God, it's so fucking good, so incredible, so awesome. And I like Mass Effect 3. I still haven't played Mass Effect 1. I hope if they do the remaster of that, they fix it, because it's not good, David. Sorry to tell you that.
Fuck off. That game was great. Still my favorite in the series.
Uh-oh, stinky.
Uh-oh. I have the face of the girl in Midsummer at the end, which is remember that movie, right?
Yeah,
it was a good movie.
I only referenced it because I watched it again yesterday.
Did you watch the full version, the director's cut?
Nah, just whatever I found.
At some point, I want to sit down and watch that director's cut, but
Oh, is it really an hour longer? Yeah, it was definitely not the director's cut. I watched Hereditary also. God, it's fucking. I love those 2 movies.
I remember after Midsummer, and I remember the group of like early 20s group that was sitting like around the front. I hear them walking there, and that was really weird. I love it.
I hate when people say that. Like,
I love that comment because it's like
I hate that fucking comment so much. I hate it because immediately when someone says that, you know they mean it in a negative way, and I hate that. Like weird means negative or something like that. Like that's why I don't.
Everyone
have friends.
calls me weird. I hate it already.
Yeah, well they're not wrong when they say it about me.
But yep. So
Midsummer's weird because why? It's like, I don't get it. It's so weird. Like Hereditary's weird. I get that, but fucking Midsummer is nothing about that.
There's some fucking weird moments in there.
There's weird people in it, sure. There's a weird culture behind it, sure.
And occasionally
them tripping out. You can say tripping out, but that's from what I heard, a very realistic depiction of someone freaking out.
I'm not going to spoil the movie, but the large group of pleasure that happened in there was a bizarre moment.
Yeah, that was wildly unnecessary.
No, that wasn't.
Well,
No, I disagree. Everything in the movie was necessary. Everything absolutely was necessary. It was weird, but I like weird. I love bizarre shit.
Beautiful. It was beautiful lovemaking.
Is that what your kids call it these days?
Ari Aster has
Hey, you're the one who did that shit.
Yeah, David.
I'm just kidding. We gotta wrap this podcast up right now.
I just want to say Ari Aster has a real like ass fixation because every one of his movies so far has just like full frontal butt and multiple butts too. It's like he's like 1, 2, no, how about 5 old
It's
butts?
It's like Tarantino on the feet.
Yeah, it's true. Ari Aster.
Ari Aster what?
To show that butt.
Oh. All right, that's Blue Ruby's podcast.
There you go. So that's our top 5.
That's our time capsule right now. This episode, we are gonna come back somewhere over a year from now, maybe even on the anniversary. Who knows where we land on with it? But we're gonna all sort of take a step back, see if maybe our lists don't change, maybe our lists do change. Who knows? And maybe our list even incorporates something that comes out this year, maybe one that we missed, something that we didn't list off right now that we didn't really think about. Good stuff right there. We will come back to that though. I think that's gonna be a fun thing to come back to. And yeah, audio podcast, video podcast go up Thursdays. Today's gonna go up Friday because Xbox event. Games gone by again next week. Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. The end of the month, May 28th, is Chrono Trigger. DS or regular version does not matter. And catch our streams Saturday, Sunday, and Tuesday. And maybe we'll start streaming these on Wednesdays. This worked out pretty well. I think we had a good amount of viewers. Bulldogs 1992 says Gore the movie god. Sup. Yeah, so we're streaming this too. So if you're watching this podcast as usual on YouTube or listening to it, maybe come back. I'll post on Twitter when we do this, and yeah, we'll do some streams about it. Twitch.tv/Depunked. Good times.
Deuces.
Send us out.
Deuces. Oh, I got one thing to show, just real quick.
Whips out his dick.
I got a label printer recently, so I've been going crazy. So I just want one last thing.